And we are live. Good evening.
No.
I think that's the best way we've ever just started the show. I think we just now should just shout yo at the cameras. Is that me playing it?
It must be because I'm definitely muted.
Yes, it's me. I made the rookie mistake. First time in 9 episodes, I made the rookie mistake. So, good evening, everybody. I did get a few messages before the show saying, "Where's Paul? I know you're not live yet, Tom. Where is he?" So I told you he was all finishing his tea. So I said the first thing I'm going to ask him is, "How's his week been? What's he had for tea? And what's having for a drink?" What have you had for your tea, Paul?
I've had Chinese meat.
Yo.
You had fucking
what did you have?
Clone crispy beef.
Oh.
Was
it spicy?
Peking chicken, crispy beef. But to be honest,
it's spicy though.
Nah, it's not like burn your arsehole though. It's spicy.
Like a nice little kick.
It's a bit of a spicy sweet and sour.
Yeah, I like that stuff. I don't like sweet and sour. I don't get on with sweet and sour, but I do like the.
Yeah, I don't like sweet and sour sauce. It's too vinegary.
I just think it's crap. I'm not gonna lie. I just think it's crap. I like something with a bit of kick, like something that's got a bit more flavour. It is too sweet for me, even though it's called sweet and sour, but it's too sweet for me. And what else did you have? What else did you say? Crispy beef. What else?
Crispy beef, chicken, Peking chicken, and chicken fried rice.
Peking chicken. What's that?
It's a bit like sweet and sour type chicken as well again, but it's in Peking sauce, not sweet and sour sauce, which is like what the crispy beef is. That's like a spicy Peking sauce more so than a sweet and sour sauce. But it's that ilk of Chinese food.
I'm getting told I'm using fake tan. Just to let you know, it's not fake tan. Just I'm letting you know, there's no fake tan going on in my.
Tom, have a proper spray tan all over, and then let me shave your beard off.
Get away. Only on his hands. I'm just reading chat, and I was listening to you talk about your food, and then all I saw was fake tan. It's not fake tan. Just letting you know, it's not fake tan.
Fuck off. Tom's getting his fake tan ready for Expo.
Fucking hell. So we got right every week. If we've got an update for Range Rover, we got an update for Land Rover. We got an update.
Just to say, I just had an email to say, "Hi Paul, I haven't forgot about you. We're still working on it. Probably be because we're going away next week. It'll probably be after your holiday, but I'm just waiting for the new technician to join, and then we'll get it sorted." And that's good enough for me, mate. That's all I ever wanted, was just a bit of normal sound, proper communication.
That's what we like. No, we're not releasing endless fake tan. Leave it out.
Never say never, mate.
If it sells, we'll release it. Pre-orders now on your endless tan for summer.
What have you had for your tea, Thomas?
Say that again.
What have you had for your tea?
I had Mexican microwave rice, you know, Uncle Ben's. I had that, and I had a cheese onion pasty out of the freezer. That's me. I know it's a bit of a weird combination, but
Mexican rice and a cheese and onion pasta. I was in fucking prison.
No, I'm not gonna lie. Abby's not here. Abby's on late. Poppy's not here, so it's like get what you give him. Basically, get whatever you can out of the freezer and just get something to eat. None of that good shepherd's pie and veg and all that stuff when Abby's here. Nah, just get some freezer or something out. cupboard and off I went. That was it. You look, I didn't have a pot noodle.
Don't knock pot noodles, mate.
And then I'm just having some juice. And this week I'm in a proper glass rather than a ghetto jam jar.
Where's your pokey jarger?
People were asking me, where's your jar gone? Where's your jar gone? I was like, I'm going to use a normal cup this week. Just thought I'd be a bit more classy. You know what I mean? I've got to fit in. I've got to fit in, not having these pikey jam jars. So apart from that, we've had the announcement today. Obviously, I've shared it, but we had the announcement today that we're obviously going to be attending Expo, which was pretty cool.
Only because I messaged Guy Cox and said, where the fuck's my announcement, dickhead?
But did you see what's in the background? I'm not going to name the company because I don't want to name the company, but it kind of annoyed me that the banner had that company in the background of our fucking entrance.
I haven't even noticed, mate.
Have you not?
I'll have to go and rip someone a new arsehole in a bit.
Yeah, I'm not going to name the mention, but it's on everybody's. But I thought it was me just being picky, is what it was. It was just me being picky. But it seems to be pretty quiet for drama and stuff like that on the Facebook front this week.
A little bit of ICOS drama floating.
We have got a subject about this week, which I am going to mention in a little while. We have got our Ask Paul section, which I'm not going to lie, I got some right questions I had to vet, and I told Paul before I did it, and I'm going to be honest, I'll tell you all, I didn't tell Paul I was going to do it. And I just bought the poster, and Paul sent me a message. Tommy, have you even asked me? And I sent a message saying, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it. I just want to do a bit of banter and whatnot. We'll get a bit of Ask Paul going. Paul's absolutely fine with it. And I said, I'll kind of keep the questions quiet. So a few people have sent me questions. I've not had a single question through the endless page. They've all been purposely sent to me because people didn't want Paul to see the questions. So I've vetted all these questions, random questions. I got a question before I went live from Nikki Fraser, and I don't even think you would understand it, Paul. I didn't understand it, and I'm not going to ask it because I just didn't understand the question. So I've got a list of questions that I've vetted.
Is there any
there was some mad ones. Say that again.
Is there any that you couldn't ask?
It was just weird ones. It was like, it just didn't make any sense. It was just, there wasn't any sort of like there wasn't any personal ones. There wasn't stuff that I couldn't go, well, I'm not going to ask Paul that because he'll either sack me or he'll knock my face off. There was none of that. There was none of that. There was just questions that I just read and I just thought, it just doesn't make any sense. Whether it was me reading them wrong or not, but I can send you them after and you can sort of look at yourself and think, what has gone on here? But we've got some fabulous questions later on, vape related and unvape related. So we might be able to find a little bit more out about the Paul himself rather than Big Paul from Endless. So that's pretty cool. I do like the questions on there. But there's nothing too personal. Nothing too personal. So it's not how much is in your bank or when you're buying your yacht or when you got a Lamborghini. None of them questions. But we have got something coming up this week, Paul. You're not attending because obviously you're going away. I'm not attending because I'm not attending. But we've got Vape Jam coming up this weekend.
I am attending.
Are you attending?
I am. I will grace my presence with my beautiful wife on Saturday.
Oh, are you going down?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know because obviously I knew you were going away, but obviously I didn't know you were going down to Jam. So what are your expectations?
My expectations are that you should be at my house for about 11 o'clock on Saturday morning, you fucking lot, mate. No, not 11. 11 will be halfway down there. You need to be a boy about 7:30, mate.
Listen, it's an over 18s event. I can't bring a 2-year-old.
The kids.
Mate, we found someone to take our full cunts. We can fucking find someone to take another. I've just said that on live television.
Oh my god. So what's your expectations? Because let's be realistic. Let's be honest. The main show that we all discuss every year is Expo. But Jam, you went to Jam last year, and it wasn't what you expected and everything like that. So, what are you obviously expecting? Anything different from the years previous?
Mate, I'll be honest. If it's as it was last year, I'd never go again. I'm expecting them to try and up their game and give it some sort of Expo-esque to it, because it just, I don't know, mate. It just seemed very. It's just not Expo. I went down with Stu and Matt. We drove down there. We had the hotels, stopped overnight, and actually we walked around Jam on the Saturday for a fucking hour and a half. Went and had a shower, went out and had some drinks and some food. Went back round on the Sunday for fucking 50 minutes, and it was just like, I don't know, different.
Do you think that's because people expect differently to sort of my experience to Jam? I've only ever been to Jam once, and the expectation when I went was just one of the first exhibitions out there. Sorry, I swallowed wrong. And Jam for the first year was very much free shit, free shit, free shit. That's what people didn't expect. That's what Jam brought, was just the free shit high. So then later on in the year, when Expo was, people expected it to be exactly the same as Jam. But ever since then, Expo's never sort of been on the sort of free shit wave that sort of Jam was on at the beginning. So do you think it's sort of the expectations of it meant to be the free shit show, or?
Mate, the first time I'd ever been was last year, and actually my expectation of it was nothing to do with free shit. It was to do with vibe. It was to do with feeling like I was somewhere, and I didn't. I just didn't even get that same vibe. And even on the Saturday, you know yourself, mate, even when we're flat out busy, the vibe in there on a Saturday when the music's on and it's going, and sometimes it's fucking too much, but it is what it is. But the vibe in Expo is something else. And I never got that at all in Expo. It didn't seem busy. I don't know whether just having more people in there gives it a different vibe, or I don't know. I mean, we walked around that place and I was saying there must be fucking somewhere else. There must be another hall off here somewhere, because we'd done it in fucking quick time, mate. It was just like dead disappointing.
Do you think it's because the show's based in London and it sort of gives the companies from North, like, I'm not travelling that way to get down there when I can go to Expo, which is in the middle of the country, and everybody has sort of the even direction to get through to the middle of the country? You know, everyone's got that easy access to Birmingham, haven't they?
I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, it's not difficult for the West Midlands to get down to London. You'd expect to be held in the capital. I would expect a banging event. I just wouldn't. I don't know. I mean, anyone who's going, don't get me wrong. I suppose I've been to every single Expo since they've launched and watched them grow into something quite phenomenal, really. To the point where last year I was thinking, where can they go from here? Now I know this time at Expo, there's restrictions on people giving stuff away from their own stands, and there's restrictions on giveaways on stage. Well, I mean, I haven't even applied for any stage time, to be honest. And I know I could get it because obviously me and Jay are pals, and I know I could get some stage time. But it's not particularly what I want, actually. And as much as I genuinely enjoyed what we've done in October, and being on that stage is a fucking buzz. Expo are clamping down big time on stuff, people giving stuff, like doing giveaways from their own stands and all of that malarkey. You're not allowed to throw nothing out into the crowd from the stage, and to me that's how it should be. And if it stops attracting people that are just there trying to at least get double the value of their fucking ticket in free stuff, then I don't think they're necessarily people that you want at these events, to be honest. And the thing that I've seen, certainly on our group, on Two Girls One Vape, where obviously we're active on them groups, and generally on my news feeds, there's lots and lots and lots and lots of people that are going there, lots and lots and lots and lots of people that they interact with on a daily basis on Facebook, and they're going to get an opportunity to meet them face to face. And for me personally, genuinely, business aside, I enjoy Expo because I get to meet like before, I used to get to meet you. I'd come and give you a hug, and you were always the first person I'd look for. We'd fucking find TYV and go and give Dale a hug, give you a hug, and do what we do. Because actually, I do genuinely enjoy that, the personal side of it, as much as I do the business side. Quite honestly, the business side can suck a dick for me for that weekend because it's that fucking busy and mental. It's hard work, but I do enjoy walking around, meeting people like Max, Tom O'Connell from Asylum Mods, and just even people from the Midlands, some of the lads from Evo, and people that I speak to regularly on Facebook, but you just don't see them because everyone's wrapped up and busy doing what they're doing day in, day out, week in, week out. So, and I think we've always gone there as Shady Vaping stroke Endless Mods. Even when we weren't vending, we landed there as a firm. We'd all got our T-shirts on. We were giving away free vape bands, and we were giving away little leaflets for people to go to the shop. And it was about business. The thing about going there as a business is it actually does give us some time to go there on a personal level, because we've obviously got staff at the stand doing what they're doing. We have an opportunity to walk around and bump into people and have our hellos and goodbyes and all that. And I enjoy it. I enjoy it. And I'd imagine any vapor that's going there will enjoy it on some level. Even the people that are not about the free shit and not about the fucking bashment playing at 60 million decibels, there's still areas you can go to and have a chat and catch up and meet these people that you do converse with, probably more than your own fucking wife in some cases, because some of these people are on Facebook non-stop 365 days of the year. They'll have an opportunity to catch up with the people that they're talking to. So it's nice. And so on that level, even if Jam isn't my expectation as someone that's been heavily involved in Expo, I still think as a consumer to go there and you've got the music on and all that malarkey, it's still a good weekend. It's just not for me. And actually, people said to me, you know what, you should always view Jam as one of them, it's better for business. But for me personally, I didn't feel enticed enough to walk around it and try and do any business with anyone, if I'm being honest.
There's got to be some sort of, to me, it's got some sort of comfort to it as well. As much as you are doing business and stuff, but if you don't feel comfortable.
Can you see that? Is it too dark?
No, is that what I think it is?
It's a big fucking dirty chuff cap for my dirty.
That is sick.
With AFC. Made by the legend, Mr. Bessie Goldsmith, who made this for me a long time ago, and I lost it. And I found this looking for his button for me fucking. I can't find that button for shit. It's got AFC on it as well.
Oh, that's cool.
It's just a gold flake chuff cap for my dirty. And the other day I was seeing it and I was like, I'm going to put that on my mud right now before it gets lost again.
That does look cool. But do you think on this sort of Jam to Expo thing, do you just, it's hard, as you say, we've had such an involvement in Expo, and we've been on the stage, and we've done the car comp on the stage, and we've got it's sort of like, that's, to me, that's home ground for an Expo. Like we've done other stuff, like we've done Vape Fest, but like Expo is like the home ground, and you feel comfortable there. So like, but I was speaking to somebody this week, and I won't mention any names, but I was saying that new people that haven't been to Expos and haven't been to Jam, from other people, get the expectations of going there for free shit.
Yeah.
To me, and I explained to this person that that's not their fault for thinking like that. That's people who have been previously making their new people to think like that, rather than actually going and enjoying the experience of meeting people they have spoke to for the last year on Facebook and going and enjoying themselves. Just because it's a show does not necessarily mean you have to go pick up gear, but definitely stop by our stand and pick up gear. That's not the question. But what I'm saying is, new people have always got that expectation of going for free shit, but it's not them that make that assumption because they're being told that, and that's the annoyance for me.
I've actually seen people saying, "Oh, I'm going to my first expo. What should I? Any advice?" And people are like, "That's fucking rowdy, that building." People are like, "Yeah, take a big bag with you for all the free stuff." Now we've never ever give away free fuck all, and nor do I intend to. When we go to expos, traditionally our prices are as keen as they've ever been anywhere at any time. And on that basis, I'm not giving away free. And even if you spend, it sounds really mad, but if a dirty mod's normally 170, and at the show I think we were doing them for 125.
Yeah.
Something like that or thereabouts. So if two of them's 250, they go, "No, mate, I've just spent 250. If you can have a free snapback." No. And they think I'm being a cunt, but actually we've just took £100 off your purchase. So put 20 quid of it back into a snapback. Because on a £20 snapback, mate, we make about £3.50. I don't do them to make money, which is why we've not got them all year round. It's why we don't always have millions of colours, because I don't make fuck all on them. But if we can have them at expos so people who want them can buy them, I'm not selling them to make money. I'm selling them to give people the option of buying them. So I know there was people last year, and there's people that come and spend £300 and £400 in one go, and they're like, "Oh, what do I get free?" Well, you've just, on that £400 purchase, you've just saved nearly 200 quid. Actually, go and spend it on something else at someone else's stand, or buy some liquid or whatever. And I don't want to attract 1,000 people to our stand looking for free stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I really don't. And in fact, was it what? Not last one, the one before. What did we have in the glass jars? Vape bands. Did we have vape bands or the battery covers or on the counter at Expo? Yeah, so look, the one before last, we had the jars of vape bands on the stand or something. I can't even remember what it was. And it was like people walking past, and then they'd be like, "Do you want a vape band?" "No, I don't want one of them." "They're free, mate." "I'll go on then." Fucking hell, they take a handful of them like it's fucking sweets. And then we had sweet tubs on the countertop, and people are walking past. And I don't mind, it's there for a reason. But I'm like, for me personally, again, us going to Jam on Saturdays, the first time in ages me and Tash have been out together. And actually, we'll go there and we'll take some money with us. And if we find something we want to buy, I'll buy it. And the truth of it is, mate, you know as well as me, and the same to you, and the same with Tash, and the same with lots of people. I could probably walk around Expo and come away with a haul of free shit myself.
Yeah.
Because there's people that I know, if I go and buy something, they won't even take my money off me. And they're like, "Fuck off, just have it." The same as there's people that come to my stand and I'd never take a penny off them. But actually, if I go to Expo with money in my pocket to buy something, I don't purposely look for the people that will go, "Paul, don't worry about it, mate. Fucking take it." Actually, I'll buy it. And to be fair, it's normally Tash that will go shopping. I can't remember the last time I went to an Expo with anything in mind that I wanted to buy. So, but Tash will go and say, "Oh, they've got this nice stabwood box, or they've got this, or they've got that," and she'll fuck off with a handful of money to go and buy it. And they'll always sort her out, you know what I mean? Or 9 times out of 10. She'll get sorted out and whatever, but yeah, she comes back and says, "Oh, I've just got these fucking 6 stabwood boxes." I said, "You'll go over and sort him out in a bit." I have to go over there and fucking take one of my fucking kidneys out for the cunt. But I don't know. I just think people should go there with the expectation of just having a good time.
Yeah, definitely.
And if they've got a particular budget to go with, go there. Obviously, literally, when you walk in the doors at Expo, you're going to be faced with endless and AF juice. But literally, it's there. We're about fucking 12 foot away from the door. I would advise, if you've got cash in your pocket, come and spend it there first, and then go and have a walk around. Spend all your money with Endless, and then I'll tell you where's giving away the best free stuff.
And if you go to that booth and don't get the free shit, don't blame Paul. It's all about community and everything like that, definitely. But it just goes over the same stuff just every year. It's sort of the new crowd expect it, and it's kind of heartbreaking because people put so much money, time, and effort to actually be able to vend there, and people expecting that sort of stuff. I think that doesn't register with a lot of consumers, that the fact is that thousands and thousands and thousands of pounds are being used by companies to actually even have a stand there. Paul put up a picture this week of the very first expo last year in October, and the growth of not necessarily just the company, but the sizing stand, and the cost of actually being an exhibitioner there is not cheap at all. And the money that is actually put into these expos by companies is a hell of a lot of money. And I appreciate that the guys at Expo are obviously hiring out one of the biggest stadiums in the UK, but it's very, very expensive to do it. So please, in the back of your mind, expect that these vendors have paid a hell of a lot of money to go, and there is not five vendors. There's hundreds and hundreds, and I'm going to show you, Paul. There you go. There's the picture.
That is Expo in May 2016 on our 3-week run. Fuck all in there, mate. We literally turned up there like pokies, and the backdrop up there that my cursor's on, I had made about 6 days before Expo because Dale sent me a picture of one. He was like, mate, I've got this. What do you think? And then that is October last year, which for me, for a shell scheme, looks impressive. That picture does. It
looks banging. It's a wicked picture, that, and it does show the growth of it. And that's the probably as. And you might not mind me saying this, Paul, but like you said to me a few weeks back at a Vape meet that it was nice you saw somebody wearing an endless jumper, and it was just nice to see somebody actually representing a company just for representing a company's sake because they like it, and that was nice for you to see. And that picture, when you put the first picture to where we were last year, is just, even that in itself is very humbling, and people need to understand, and probably people do understand it, but in the back of your mind, please having the fact that it's very expensive to go to Expo as a vendor.
To remember, Tommy, is as much as that looks impressive and it's 9 meters wide and it looks nice, it is still done on a massively small budget compared to some of the people that are there. I mean, I don't know what that by the time we've gone to Expo and we've bought the floor space and we've paid to have the stand made, and we've got staff there and hiring of wagons to get the stuff there and bringing them back and paying staff to set up and paying staff to work extra hours in the shops, that weekend probably costs us somewhere between £12,000 and £15,000, depending. There's people there, mate, that are, you know yourself, they're 140 grand in.
Yeah.
Before they sold one bottle of liquid, they're normally the big liquid companies have spent a huge amount of money, and yet people think they've got a God-given right to walk up to them and go, what you got free, mate? I've got advice for free. Fuck off. That's me. That's what you're going to get out of me for all weekend is advice and abuse. I'll dish that out. Because, and I've done a little live feed earlier, just driving home from work and that. And like, we're away next week. There's stuff that I've got to get done by Friday of this week. And if I don't get it done, we're fucked for Expo because I won't get the booth printed in time and all that sort of stuff. I've got to get that done before I go on my holidays. We're still in the middle of fucking toying with the new 24mm deck because I can't get 2 decent calls in the space that's there. We've got to amend the post, and we're still trying to get that out in time for Expo. Whether it happens or not remains to be seen. I don't know whether we will or we won't. But then, like Tash said on my live feed earlier, she's already organising staff at the shop to start sorting out stock, where it's going, what stock are we taking and doing, and then we've got to order hiring the wagon, getting our staff together, making sure the shops are still covered. Well, I've got staff at Expo building the fucking stand. Then we've got 3 mental mad days, long, hard fucking days at Expo. Then when all you lot fuck off home, we've got to dismantle it, get it back, get the stuff to the shops, sort the because the shops are always upside down during Expo because we're taking cabinets out of the stock because we haven't got the luxury of spending fucking £5,000 on hiring cabinets and stuff like that. We take our own stuff with us and we take it back to the shop when we're done. And then we'll have a few weeks after Expo, finding our feet, taking a breath, and literally then we're preparing for October's Expo. Whether that be product, what we're going to do with the stand, what stock are we taking, what are we doing, who's doing what, where and when, and blah, blah, blah. And It's like literally one expo rolls into the other for us. And as much as I enjoy vending there and vending on the scale that we do, and touch wood, we've been fortunate enough that for the last 4 expos that we've done, we've had good busy weekends. It makes it less enjoyable, regardless of whether we do £10,000 in sales or £1 million in sales. It takes some of the fun out of it for me just to go there and have a laugh and a joke and have the crack, because that is what I enjoy. The business side of it is a plus when everything's done and dusted and everything's put back in the shops and everyone's gone away and we've all had a little breather. It's nice to look back and see how successful the weekends have been, but actually during them weekends, the business side of it takes some of the edge off it for me personally, because I'm worrying about, are we serving people quick enough? Have we got what they want? Are we managing everything? Are you managing with the wholesale inquiries? And as much as I might walk around talking and fucking about with millions of different people constantly for the whole weekend, which is pretty much what I do. And if I'm not there, you'll find me perched on our settee at our stand doing fuck all. I'm still looking around and making sure we're doing what we should be doing. So it does take some of the personal fun out of just going there as Paul and Tash and walking around and talking to who I want for as long as I want, when I want. And when we've got the stand there, you're sort of always looking at the stand and making sure that we're doing and coping and managing. And obviously this time we've got the new wire. Again, touch wood, should be with us 3 or 4 days before Expo. So we've got the new wire as well. We've got the liquid line, which will be on the stand next to Endless, just the AF stand. It'll be open internally, but externally it'll be split off as 2 separate stands. So again, it's like now we're talking to Tash last night about how many staff do we need for the liquid side of it, how many staff do we need for the mod side of it, how much more people will come to the stand just to buy wire. And because we've got the cheaper product, like where you can buy a spool of wire for a £5, will that attract physically more people coming just to spend a £5 than 70 or 100 or 150 quid on a mod or whatever they're buying? So how many numbers will we physically have at the stand? Can we cope? How many staff have we got to have? What if we can't cope? What even if I tell everyone who's talking to me to fuck off, and I'm serving, and Tom's serving, and Tasha's serving, and Simone's serving, and Yvette's serving, and Adam's serving, or whoever's going, and we still can't cope? There's obviously a point where we just have to do the best we can. But these are the things I'm stressing about now. Do you know what I mean? And obviously when then floods of people come into Expo on Saturday morning, or even on the Friday morning, to be fair, I don't know what, you didn't come down to set up last year, did you?
No, I didn't come down on Thursday. I had the child, didn't I?
We need to have a chat about that this year, because I do need you to make arrangements, just because we are so light on staff.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll be down Thursday anyway.
I'll have a chat with you.
Wednesday, Tom.
You are?
She said, Dan, Wednesday night, we got fucking shit to do. We've obviously got 2 stands to make up. It's gonna be fucking hard going this weekend, and we're light on staff. So I'll speak to you about that anyway. But obviously, you've been there on a Thursday, and certainly when you used to come down with Dal, you'd be down there on the Thursday because you make more of an effort when you were working for TYV. Amazing. But look, you've been there on a Thursday night, and when we leave, even when we've been there till 7 and 8 o'clock on a Thursday night and you leave, the place is still a fucking shit tip. And then you walk back in on Friday morning, it's like the fucking fairies have been in, and it's like, whoa, fucking hell. Even for me, the first time we ever went, in that first one in May 2016 that picture's from, we obviously set up in 10 minutes. We got there, fucking put 2 cabinets in, popped our banner up, and we were a bit like, yeah, we're set up, we're ready to go. But the rest of the place is in fucking utter chaos. And then when I walked back in Friday morning, I was like, man, as if they managed to turn this fucking shithole of yesterday into the gloriousness of what you see when you walk in them doors. It's madness. But obviously, the people that go there as a consumer, even as a trader, if they've not been involved in actually setting up an expo, they've got no idea of what goes into it. And then within 20 minutes of them people getting kicked out on Sunday, the fucking madness, bam, starts just all over again, literally, but in reverse. It's like watching the fucking reverse of the setup. People, bodies, fucking cabinets, wagons. It's just fucking crazy, crazy mental. And people that have only been there as a consumer will never, ever get their head around what goes into putting that show together.
No, they definitely won't. And if you want to experience it, let us know, because if bosses are running low.
Yeah. If anyone's bored on Thursday the fucking 3rd, fucking meetings at Yardley and you've got yourself a job, I'll give you 3 bottles of as fuck juice.
Yeah, you're damn right. People don't, because I've seen, and you probably saw this last year as well in October. There's a lot of vendors that just sit there and leave it till everyone's literally fucked off because it's that mental.
Yeah.
Vans after van after van after van after van. It is absolutely mad. If you've done a long day, you literally want to get out and get all your stuff and leave. But this year, Paul, you and Tash can piss off. I'm waiting until 10 o'clock at night to unload everything so it's empty. So everyone can piss off. I can do it in peace because it is absolutely mental. You do not understand it. And what we probably should do is we'll set up a 360 cam at 5 o'clock. On the Sunday.
You know what I'm genuinely thinking of doing, and you've just ruined it because you've just fucking said it on the live feed. But we was gonna set up. Me and Jack spoke about it the other day about setting up Jack's DLSR on a tripod, and then doing the time lapse of the build from when we get in there, and then because we will be running the 360 cameras over the weekend anyway. I might have to pay for the Wi-Fi because I don't think we'll end up smashing data to fuck running constant live feeds. But I'm pretty sure I can go and see Mr. Cox and get a hookup for the Wi-Fi code, possibly. But yeah, we'll have the 360 cameras running, and we'll be doing some 360 tours around the place. But I just thought about setting a camera up on a tripod from when we get there Thursday and just leave it time lapsing until it's done, and then get Jack to do, and then obviously we'll have footage from over the weekend, and then do the same time lapse on the breakdown. So actually we can do a 5-minute video, fast time lapse into the thing, and then maybe some time lapse of people coming to the stand, and then some standard footage with the music and and then some more time lapse of people at the stand, and then time lapse of everything going backwards to an empty stand and us fucking off, because that would be a cool video to make. That, and the people that see, I know, will appreciate exactly what we're putting into that. Not just us, every single vendor that's there, mate, regardless of what scale they're doing it on. 100%, they'll appreciate what goes into it. And I can honestly say, as a consumer, me and Billy went to a car show in January at the NEC. And honestly, the first thing I think when I walk into any event like that now is, fucking hell, they must have took them fucking ages to put this together. Got to appreciate what they've been through. Do you know what I mean? It's mad.
Yeah. It is definitely something that people need to see, because it is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. But we've done 45 minutes on Expo, and I think we should move on to another subject. Absolutely. Another subject I'm going to talk about, and don't give too much away, Paul, because obviously it might be an idea someone might steal off you. But it's about what do you think is missing in the industry at this moment in time? And this can go into sort of Expo, this can sort of go into sort of shows and stuff like that. Do you think there is anything that we are missing inside the vape industry, or maybe what we're missing in the community, or anything like that?
I've got some fucking morals.
Morals. Please elaborate.
I don't know. I feel like the vendor side of it has become massively disjointed, and people are just rowing their. And I get people are busy running their own businesses. I'm not suggesting they should be in each other's pockets, but even things like vape meets, man. There's been a lot more vape meets this year that I've seen, and we're only sort of 3 months into the year, just coming into the 4th month. But I don't know. I popped into Grey Eyes at Digbeth on one day last week and seen Magic Shaff was in there, and I was talking to Shaff for an hour or so. And like, we were talking, and he was just a bit like, "What the fuck's happened to this industry, Paul?" But every single person that I talk to, Tom, that's on our level of being involved in the industry is exactly the same. They'll be like, "What the fuck's going on? Why is everyone the way they are? Why?" There's no effort for anyone to do anything other than what suits them best. And actually, you know yourself, certainly us as a business, and I'm not trying to make out word like, "Oh yeah, everyone should follow our lead." I'm not saying that, but even we've always as a company made an effort to travel to other people's vape meets, show our face, give people support, and just be there and do the whole community thing, because to me it's important.
Fuck me, we travelled the UK for nearly a year.
No, but I mean, we've done that from a business point of view, let's be honest. We've done it with Endless and V-Juice. We've done the tour. But I'm saying, me and Tash fucking drove up to bastard Highlands to go to Chris Hannigan's, mate. Booked a hotel, come back down the next day. We've gone down to London for vape meets. We've gone to Cardiff for vape meets. We've fucking... Oh, that's right. Yeah, so Tasha's on her phone. Vape Jam. Obviously, there's people at Vape Jam already setting up now for the weekend.
Yeah.
I don't know what's missing from the industry. I don't know, mate. I really don't. If I knew, I'd try and sprinkle some of it around and fucking spread the love and get things back how they used to be. But I think the realist in me says that them days are done, and it just won't be the same anymore.
Do you think that's heartbreaking though?
It is for me personally, because this whole journey was never about money for me. And actually, money was a byproduct of doing something that I absolutely loved and absolutely enjoyed and I was absolutely passionate about. And the fact that we could have a good standard of living doing something that I enjoyed so much every single day of my working life, apart from outside of my job, for it to become more corporate and more business-like every single day, and it seems to become worse and stuff, I could quite easily just say, fuck it. And I have them days. I never ever used to have them days before. I used to enjoy every single day that we done, and I enjoyed making new stuff, and and even if people didn't believe in what I was doing, mate, I knew that I had people's support. I supported other people, and I just feel now like there's so many people that are sitting back waiting for people to fall over. That's how it feels. It's like no one's like. No one, just there's so few people that come across as being genuine.
Do you think that is because it has become more big business than actually where it started, like the originators of it, sort of?
Absolutely, there's no other reason for it, and it is a business. It's a business for us, and I say that the only thing the only part of it where the money concerns me to the point of making me happy is knowing that we've got enough money to live our lives and to pay our staff. Because there's 5 or 6 people or whatever it is, in fact, with yourself, 7 people that rely on what we do for your livelihood as much as their livelihood. So that's the only bit where I ever worry about money. I never ever worry about the shop taking's been down 1 day or 2 days or 3 days. If at the end of the month we've got enough to pay wages, pay the bills, and put some money in the bank from mine and Tasha's efforts of even doing the business, I'm happy with that. I'm not here to make millions of pounds. If we do, it's a bonus. But it's not. It was not the goal. It was never the goal. We never started this because I thought we would get to where we are 5 years later. I started this so Tasha didn't have to work in a petrol station weekends because we were skint. Yeah. So it was never a goal of ours to say, you know what, we can conquer the fucking world here. What we've achieved in that time has been absolutely outstanding, and something I would never ever have dreamed we could have done 5 years ago. But we did, and we've worked fucking damn hard for it. But I don't know. I really don't know what the industry's missing. I just feel like something's missing. Something.
Do you think it's gone past the stages of where it used to be?
In what way?
Even down to sort of not just big business, but in the way of sort of people's thinking, even consumers' way of thinking. I think we're very much past sort of going to enjoy ourselves and just to sort of, yes, I get it's business, especially for us, it's business. But do you think that sort of funness has gone out of it? That where we're meant to be having a laugh and giggle at the same time as sort of, you know, as you said yourself, you wasn't doing it to conquer the world. You was doing it so Tash didn't have to work, and you was enjoying it, and you still enjoy it to stay. But do you think that element of fun has sort of left?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think from my own personal point of view, the bigger our business gets, the less fun it became, because you start worrying about the business. And that's not worrying about the money, it's worrying about the business, worrying about making sure that any money that we have made that I'm investing into Endless is the right thing for me and Tasha's future. Because at the end of the day, I could put 40 grand into a mod that goes fucking south, and it's 40 grand we never get back, and we end up with a fucking shed load of mods that we can't sell. So things like that have always worried me. They've always worried me from day one. Touch wood, I've always been, my gut feeling about the way things are going has always been pretty good. I'm pretty good at best guessing where we're likely to be, and we've made the right decisions along the way to keep us growing. I think after we had that debate a few weeks ago about the community. And actually, when I was saying to you on there that maybe because of the way that the consumers buying now, where they have got more knowledge than consumers 5 years ago because of YouTube, because of the internet, because of Facebook, maybe they're just not interested in the fucking community because they don't need to. They're doing it to stop smoking more so than we did. Like, we done the first bit to stop smoking, but the whole community thing came out of sub-ohm vaping.
Yeah.
There weren't 60 people at Shady Vaping on fucking ego pens.
Yeah.
And even now, if you're going straight into that market as a sub-ohm vapor to stop smoking, you're doing it for a reason. We went into that journey together. All of us went into it together. We all learnt off each other. And I can waste another half an hour saying exactly what I said 2 weeks ago. If you didn't watch it, it's available on our YouTube channel, week number 7. But yeah, I think because the consumer's more clued up about what they want, the community side of it to them is they get enough out of their Facebook kicks to fulfill the community side of it, which is 65 million fucking vape groups, and there's 900 million live feeds every single day off all sorts of people. And I'm not saying that I'm the only person that's allowed to do a live feed. That's not what I'm saying. Anyone can go on there and do a live feed, but I don't know. To me, there's too many vape groups on there trying to do the same thing. And to be quite honest, Tom, a lot of them are spawned from people that want products free off fucking vendors to become sponsors of the group so they can vape for fuck all. There's not many people out there that are passionate. And I might be out of turn using Adele as an example here, right? But Adele has got a massive following, but she works tirelessly to give something back to the community, to the sponsors, because although she's fairly new into the scene, she sort of grasped that community thing by the bollocks and run with it. And because she comes across as being a dippy bastard and she says silly things, the other thing that she 100% comes across as is genuine. And I see people slating Adele, and I see people having snidey fucking backhanded comments about her and indirect statuses about her and all that malarkey. And yet, I've spoke to Adele outside of her live feeds because we've spoke on the phone and stuff. And actually, she's a genuine person. And for as much as she pushes all them brands that she pushes, mate, she gets very little for fuck all. And we don't pay Adele a wage to sponsor our stuff. You know yourself, she approached you about Endless or whatever. And I says, you know what, sponsor her. And actually, from that day, she has been 100% loyal to us. Yeah. And she's had some big companies get in touch with her to sponsor that group where she would get free shit. And she says no, because actually it doesn't fit in with what I do for Shady Vaping, or it doesn't fit in for what I do with Suicide Mods, or it doesn't fit in with this. She does actually care about what she does. The people that are on there slating her and being backhanded sneaky about what she's doing are jealous cunts. And they're on different groups trying to beg the same free shit that they're slagging her that they think she's getting and she's not getting. I see people setting up Facebook groups and looking for fucking. I get it. You know yourself, man. How many inbox messages do we get a week on the Endless page? Times that by 20. That's what I get to my personal inbox every week in, week out. We get it on the Instagram for Shady Vaping. We get it on the Instagram for Endless Mods. Oh, I'm just starting to review, or I'm just going to do this, or I really love your fucking products. Well, buy one then, you prick. You love them that much. Fucking part with 80 quid and buy a mod, you twat. Because if you loved it that much, you'd buy one. You don't. You want a free mod. That's what you want. I don't need you to post my mod to fucking 15,000 people. And certainly not on Facebook. We've got the Facebook market covered between every group that we're on. Yeah. If you don't know who we are, and I'm not even saying that in a big, if you don't know who Paul Harrison and Endless is, you know who the fuck are you. I'm not saying that. But most people that are into vaping know of us. Or they know of, even if they don't know that I'm behind Endless, they know about Endless Mods, or they know about.
They know the presence. Definitely know the presence that we are there. Yeah, definitely.
And on that basis, why would I give free stuff away to someone who's managed to grow a group to 12,000 people, or 6,000 people, or in some cases 300 people, where all they've done is literally added 300 people to a group. They've not attracted 300 people to the group. We've got nearly 15,000 on Shady Vaping's like page. You can't actually add anybody to a like page. You can invite someone to the like page, but you can't add no cunt to a like page. So on that basis, we've attracted Shady Vaping. Our page is...
The like page got 14,000 or something on it.
Yeah, it's not far off 15,000. I think 14,000 to high 14,000s.
I like Adele. She's too funny, but doesn't realise it most of the time because she's genuine. She is genuine. I love Adele, and she knows that. That's nice, Pixie. Adele is funny. Adele is, as Paul is saying, to me, Adele is very much how the community should be, as in, she's very much involved. She very much wants everybody to have a laugh. She's never too serious. It's not all about this, and this, and drama, this, drama, that. She's very much herself, and we've met her face to face, Paul. We've met her face to face, and she's exactly the same online as she is as a person in real life. And she likes being in the industry and being part of something because she's genuine and she enjoys it. It's fun for her, and that's what I love about it. And if I could say to everybody, base yourself sort of, without praising Adele to whatever, if everybody could sort of base the way off she likes having fun and having a bit of banter and whatnot, if everybody could be like that, the community would be massive and it would be fun.
The only way I can gauge it, Tom, is personally, and anyone that's on my friends list on Facebook knows that I don't suffer fucking fools. And it's not because I'm an obnoxious prick. I just struggle to listen to people's bullshit bollocks and lies and crap. And if I thought for a minute Adele was trying to mug us off, I wouldn't sponsor a group. I don't care how funny she is. I don't care how many people she's got in a group. I would never allow someone to take the piss with us. And I've never once ever genuinely felt like that with Adele. I've never once felt like she's taking the piss or she's never asked for nothing. She's never once messaged us and says, "Oh, if you're doing this, I want this off you." Never.
No. I
know she's done that with other people, but not for herself, mate. I know she's messaged sponsors and said, "You sponsor our page. You've not done a giveaway for my members for 6 weeks. Sort your shit out, or I'm not sponsoring you." Now, I know 100% them conversations took place, and it was never about, "Oh, you've not sent me a care package for 6 weeks. I ain't got no shit to vape." It's, "You have not sent me nothing to give to my members, and part of you sponsoring my group is that should happen. On that basis, fuck you. Either send us something that we can give away back to them people that support us, or you're not part of the group." And yet I see people, mate, daily fucking having sneaky digs, and it pisses me off. And like I said, the same people can't make their mind up which is their favourite group because they're hopping around all of them trying to get whatever they can out of it.
I think that's one of the main things. I think looking at Facebook and the way Facebook is run, if there was one solid base where everybody could just go to, because you've got to remember, however many people there is on Facebook active in vape communities, 25,000 people, 20,000 people, whatever. Adele's got, what, 10, 11, 12,000 people in there? I don't know how much her group is.
15,000. 15,
how many?
15,500.
15,500?
Yep.
Well, then 15,500 people are all in other fucking groups.
Absolutely.
We'll use that as the main fucking base, and everyone can communicate on that one base. I get that there's obviously other groups that obviously, like, for instance, a niche group like Mech Addiction, where people can go absolutely love mechs and talk about mechs and everything like that. That's a niche group. That's where people who want to go that want to discuss that, and necessarily might not want to discuss that in a main base of like Adele's. But everyone's trying to go off in their own circle, and it's all the same fucking people. So if we had a main base where everybody could go communicate, and I get that people have arguments and people fucking want to cause drama and all that shit. It's part of fucking life. It's not just vape groups. It's part of life. People don't agree with shit people say, but if we could all sort of, in that way, get on and just enjoy it for the community it is, this community would be so much fucking better. So much better.
It's absolutely true. And I think, see, what happens is Adele grew that in less than 12 months. Adele's gone from fucking nothing to 15,500 followers. In 5 years, our group, Shady Vaping, we've got it covered, 4,300 likes. And that's and I've never chased likes. We don't do it. If I do a competition normally, it's easy for me to do it on my own profile. I'm not begging people to go and like and join the page just so we're giving away millions of pounds worth of stuff a week. I don't particularly want them people on my group. Now, there's people on our group that I know are very active in giveaways, and I'm not decrying them for that. But actually, if me and you were to go live twice a week and give away several £100 worth of stuff twice a week, we would double our group figures inside 8 weeks. I'm confident of that 100%. And all it would do is it's attracted 4,000 people who are not interested in the community, not interested in putting on posts, not interested in putting up a handshake. They're interested in grabbing as much free shit out of this fucking industry as they can. They're not people I want on my group. And that's any giveaway we give, we do. We give that stuff away. We've never pretended to do a giveaway and not give it away. We don't pick winners that don't really exist. Anytime we do a giveaway, mate, you know yourself, it goes out to them people and they get their shit. But there's so many people on there that aren't active in the community at all, but they're active in looking for free stuff on every live feed that's there. And I've put a post up today saying the next person to tag me in a fucking free giveaway competition, I'm going to send them a parcel of my own shit, because it absolutely boils my piece. One thing is, I've never, ever entered a vape competition to try and win something, because I'm a vendor and I'd feel like a prize prick winning it when someone in the community could have won it. The second thing is, most of these competitions for liquid is for fucking shit liquid, which I wouldn't buy. It is as simple as that. And you see these, I'll get tagged in, win 1.5 litres of fucking homebrew. I'd rather fucking shit in my hands and clap than vape it anyway. So I don't need 72 million fucking notifications every time someone else tags 9 people in the post. I just don't. And it fucking drives me mad. And then after I put that post up, someone tagged me in a competition just for shits and giggles, and I've blocked the cunts. I don't care who they are. They got blocked. Because actually, I'm busy enough as it stands every single. I get enough notifications that are directed to me personally every day, without fucking 2,000 people trying to fight over fucking 60 ml of fucking 27 milligram menthol liquid that's fucking might be high VG, but it might be fucking high PG. Depends how pissed the bloke was when he mixed it. I don't fucking want none of that shit.
One of the main things that proper grinds my gears, and this is not aimed at anybody in particular, what grinds my gears is that when people do giveaways, it's not necessarily just us, but people do giveaways. Yes, one, it is for brand awareness and letting people know the brand's there and the brand's available and whatnot, and letting people try the juices. And it is a great marketing scheme. What fucks me off is when someone wins a massive haul, and there's two things actually that fuck me off, is when somebody wins something free, rather than giving it back to the community, they try to sell it. And two, when somebody doesn't say thank you or doesn't let you know that they've received their prize. That fucks me right off, because we took our time out to do it. We've not had a thank you. I'm not expecting a thank you, but it's nice to fucking just get, I've received my parcel. Thanks, guys. I've got it. That's it. That's all I'm asking. Yeah. Just to let us know that it's not fucking missing in post or postman's robbed it.
But just the same motherfuckers, message you after fucking 3 days saying, Tom, have you got tracking details for me fucking free? Because the fucking postman hasn't knocked my door yet.
Yeah. It's just the matter of respecting that aspect.
I did a competition at midnight last night and I fucking ain't had my parcel. The fuck's going on?
It's true, and it happens day in, day out, and we see it as much as everybody else on Facebook. We see these posts. You know, just it's not we're not expecting, and I know Paul's not like this at all, and I'm not like this either, and Tasha's not like this. We don't want a fucking pat on the back. We do this because we want to do it. But it's nice to get just a message back. Just you what?
Because we can.
Because we can. It's nice to get. I've received my parcel, and that is one of the massive things that fucks me off, because you've won a prize, you've not paid fuck all, you've spent your time on Facebook, 10 minutes on a giveaway, you've won something, and you don't even let people know you've received your prize. And they're going, I might have spent quite a bit of money sending these prizes out, and I don't even know if somebody's got them. Yeah. And it's not a yeah, we've done well, we've given away stuff, we've done it, well done. No, it's just a bit of fucking time and respect that we've spent the time giving you the stuff. And that's a big fucking bugbear of mine. And You know me, I don't really rant, but that's a fucking rant from me.
Manners cost fuck all, mate. They don't cost nothing. And
exactly.
Like, if you can be that up your own arse that you need to fucking message within 2 days to say, all right, mate, I won a competition and I ain't had my stuff. Surely, and I'm not asking you to post it on every group and say Tom and Paul and Tasha are the best people in this whole industry. I love them so much because I've got a free mod. Just an inbox message to say thanks ever so much, guys. Got my package this morning. Brilliant, thank you.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's people out there doing regular live feeds week in, week out. They expect the hand check of the freebies because that is promotion for them. It gets the brand out there. It's what they're doing it for. I don't care what anyone says. Me and Dale had this exact same conversation before. There's people out there going, I do it because I love people. We do it for 2 reasons. We do it, one, because, and I know Dale certainly thinks the same way, to sit and look at what we've been blessed with over the last few years is humbling in anyone's opinion. If you're not humble, boy, you're a prick. And we also do it because potentially them giveaways give us some sort of exposure, which could grow the brand, which could create sales, which ultimately brings in revenue. And I know that all these companies that are saying we do it for the love would soon stop doing it when the revenue that they're bringing in is less than what they're giving away.
Yes.
Because you just can't do it. You just can't. With the best will in the world, you can't do it.
It's not viable. It's not viable at all. But as you said, it being humbling because I'd say not anymore the majority, but a lot of vendors came from nothing. And we've had your story, Paul, and it's one of the best fucking stories I've heard of, obviously, where you and Tash started. And if you want to watch it, it's on the previous show. Probably, I think it's the first or the second show. But that's what you said. What to me, that is what the thing is. You didn't come into industry a millionaire, and you aren't going, there's me fucking dough.
I'm not coming out of it a fucking millionaire either. Billionaire, mate. Billionaire. No, but I mean, we did. You know what? We come into this financially strapped, but I come into it with a business mindset of how I wanted the business to be. And no disrespect to Tasha, she didn't have the first clue about business when we started because she'd never done it, and now she does. And even watching, for me personally, to watch Tasha grow and run the business the way that she does day in, day out, is actually nice for me to sit back and see that even if this goes tits up tomorrow, there's lots of things she's learned along the way that I think put you in stead for various other things throughout the rest of your life. And
in life, yeah, definitely.
Going from nothing and me working full time and Tash working weekends, and we've had 2 kids since then, and it's mad. Crazy times, but it's nice to sit back and reflect on what we've done, and then at the same time, it does sadden me the way that the industry's become, because it just you know what? I think the only way to sum it up is when the fun has completely gone out of this industry, we might as well be selling fucking clothes down in that shop, or we might as well be selling newspapers, chocolate bars, cans of pop, and cigarettes, because it's just become literally retail. And actually, when we first started, it wasn't about that. It wasn't about people just coming in saying, 2 bottles of that liquid, please, mate. There's your money. See you later. Bam, go out the door. There was much more to it than that. And that's the way it's becoming to me. We just own 2 retail shops that happen to retail electronic cigarettes. And that's why, even though my live feeds might bore the tits out of people when I'm driving to work and from work, and when I get in my car to go to fucking Asda, I'll jump on a live feed. It's just to keep that connection with people and just keep it real, and just have a general mundane chat about normal fucking shitty boring stuff, because I don't want it just to be about me posting up every time a new product comes into the shop and push, because we weren't about that. Yeah,
as you say, it does disconnect you, because let's be realistic, when the shops first started open, people wasn't fussed about what the products were in the shop. They were going in to see people like yourself, like Tash. They were going in to see the person rather than seeing what's in the shop. Going in was buying the product, was what you needed, but you didn't necessarily go in at that time because you needed it. You already had 100 ml of juice at home, but you were going in to see your mates. And
there's people that come to our shop on a Saturday back in the day with no money in their pocket.
Yeah.
And they didn't come down there to buy nothing. They didn't come down there to scrounge no free shit. They come down there they might have a bit of fucking cotton and bit of wire on them, and they'd do a build and fucking we'd have a chat and a laugh, and they'd try my new RDA, or they'd have a look at this, or they'd have a look at that, and that was what Saturday. I mean, I can remember on our Facebook page people saying who's going down Shade Saturday. We're going to be there about 1, and I'd pop into the Vape Lounge. There'd be fucking 10 or 12 people in there every Saturday, just arranged to meet people who didn't know each other from Adam until they met in our shop, and then started meeting in our shop on a personal level to meet them people that they'd just recently met. I can't remember the last time I seen anyone in the Vape Lounge upstairs, because they come in, they get the shit the fuck off. They come in, they get the shit the fuck off, and that's fine. And we're happy to provide the same service we've always provided. Just for me personally, it's just less fun. It's more business. Every day is about business. Now, the truth of it is, mate, as good as this business has been to us, I can think of more businesses that we could put the same amount of time into and turn a lot more money.
Mm.
And then it's just literally corporate. Me and Tash literally sitting down at the end of every month and looking at figures and what's our percentages of margin and how much percentage we paid in wages and what hours have we worked. We've never done that in this. We know what money we've taken. We know what money we've spent. The accountant gets all the shit. She puts it all together for us. We've made money every year for fucking 5 years. I can't ask for more than that. But we've never been in a position where it's just been corporate and, right, let's get this in and let's do that and let's do this and we'll grow the business and we'll open 60 shops. I know financially 4 years ago, we could have opened 10, 20, 30 shops in a heartbeat without any problem whatsoever, without having to borrow a penny off any fucker. And I didn't want to do it because I was happy with the shop that we had. I was happy with what it was turning over. I was happy with what it was making. And we could manage it easily within our life without the whole business consuming our life.
Yeah.
And on that basis, I was happy where we was.
So on that basis, I think the industry's missing a fucking hell of a lot. Too much by the fucking sounds of it, and it ain't gonna take me and you and Tash to conquer the world. It's just to sum that up, it is literally the business of sides of stuff is the bonus side, and that's how it was, and how it should be in certain people's eyes. But it is coming to sort of that corporate side of things on the whole industry sort of side of things. It's the fun of it has been taken away. And I think going back to sort of Expo for a second, that sort of, I went last year and I said this to you, Tash, personally, and I said this to Tash probably a few weeks ago. And I said to Tash, it's nice to know that you are now Tasha, not Paul's wife. And I said that to her, and I said that is one of the nicest things. People, you know this, Paul, years and years and years and years. It used to be, oh, there's Paul's wife. And to me, that's how it went on. And Tash always played it.
I've become fucking Tasha's husband.
But it was never on a disrespectful level. It was just that's how it was played, and it was sort of I'm not getting involved. Tash was sort of like, I just run the shops and whatnot. Don't get involved. Paul's the face, and it's nice now that Tash has actually got a face, and people have sort of now realised that Tash does do. And I said this on Kieran's post, and I tagged Tash in, and I says, me and Paul do the giveaway, but Tash is the one that's doing it all in the background for us and helping us out.
And I've said that for a long time. Obviously, I used to get people inbox me directly saying, thanks ever so much for me vape mail. And I'm like, I ain't even been down the shop for 7 weeks, mate. I don't know what the fuck you're talking. And I haven't. I mean, I can't remember the last time I went to our shops and actively spent some time in the shops, and maybe that'd have a bearing on the shop. I don't know. But then, do I want to spend my whole life down the shop flogging the last dregs out of an industry? And the answer's no, I don't. I'd rather come in from work and spend time with Tash, with the kids, even if we're sat here on our phones next to each other, not speaking. And that happens a lot of nights. And we're still communicating within that, but I've got my phone in my hand and she's got her phone in her hand, and there's something on the telly and the kids are running in and the kids are running out. That, for me, that's what my life is. And I enjoy that. And for me to start going down the shop 6 nights a week, just so we can try and attract a little bit more custom, to take an extra fucking 60 or 80 quid a day, that 80 quid's better spent with me spending time at home with my missus.
100%.
And that's why we never opened 10 shops. It's why we never went on a massive level. And quite honestly, the people that I've seen become most disjointed from this business over the last 3 years are the people that grew to massive levels. And the business side of it will consume them. And there's no way it can't. When you're employing 10 or 20 or 30 people, you've got a huge responsibility to run that business the best way you can. So I'm not knocking them people and saying, oh, you're a bunch of cunts. It just becomes actual business. And as much as ours is run like a proper business, it's at a level where we can sort of enjoy it.
You've still got that social aspect of
business. I still enjoy making the endless. And the thing is, I'm not making endless just to keep making money and making money and making. I enjoy doing that. I enjoy coming up with new products. And if tomorrow it stops working, I'll walk away from it. I've got the luxury of, we don't live a lavish lifestyle. We already had a nice house. My kids already had nice shoes on their feet. We always had food in the cupboards. We didn't have money to just fucking decide next week we're going on holiday. But actually, we enjoyed each other's company, and we had a good, nice life, and I've still got that. And if it genuinely all finished tomorrow, mate, I carry on going to work 5 days a week, and we just carry on living the life that we're living. And I've said in jest a few times, Tash wouldn't be able to spend as much money on shoes and handbags, but that is literally the riches that we have in our life. I say we're not here with 2 fucking butlers parked up a corner waiting to cook me a fucking dinner when I click my fingers. I don't live that life. And I've never lived that life. Tash just said she's the butler. But there's people that have put themselves on a pedestal in this industry that don't want it to crash, mate. And they're hanging on to it for grim death. And to hang on to it, they've got to fuck people over. They've got to make shitty business decisions that shafts 2 people but keeps them ahead of the game. I'm not that businessman. I'm not. I consider myself to be a good businessman. We've got a good, healthy business there. It's run right. Morally, I'm trying to make the right decisions. I can go to sleep every night and I sleep well because I'm not fucking people over, come rain, come shine. There's people out there, mate, fucking people every day of the week just to make the extra quid because they've got to make it because they've become this thing that they created themselves. I ain't about that fucking life, mate. That's not me.
And but that's humbling for everybody else to know the fact that that's the way you are. And it's not the way that you run things, you know what I mean? You are yourself. You've never changed in the way that you are as a human being. That's how the industry has sort of changed a lot of people, and it's nice that the genuine people have stayed genuine. And but does that means to me is that it's just this industry become that way out, that the people have been made to go that way, sort of thing. You know, in my mind, I'm thinking, well, people won't like that when you first met them 4 or 5 years ago. And has that industry made them go the way, or is that their lifestyle that's changed that?
You know what? There's people that were always cunts that were now. I mean, you know what, mate? I've been involved in various business for 25 years, and I've met lots of people along that way. And one thing. A proper good businessman does not need to fuck anyone over, ever, for anything at all. And if they're in the habit of fucking people over to get the upper hand, to feel like they're the bigger cog in that machine to make it work, it's down to their own insecurities and because they're not a good businessman. And the only way they can make it work is by fucking people. I've never operated that way. I don't operate that way in my personal life. I don't operate that way in my business life. But there's people that have put on a very good smile for a few years and they've sucked people in and now they're fucking snapping them, switching on them, turning on them. And actually, that cunt would have been in them forever and a day, mate, without a doubt. That's the person that they are.
Yeah.
And it's easy to put a front on short term. And like I've said a million times, there's people that I see on Facebook, there's people that I know on Facebook that are absolutely two-faced, and not even two-faced in the sense of they're talking about me behind my back, but they're talking to me in my face like I'm the best pal. They've got 2 personalities. They've got a bullshit Facebook personality and they've got a real personality.
Yeah.
And real personality at some point will shine through. And I see people's halos slipping, mate. And I see them slipping on a regular basis, and the more pressure they get under, the more it fucking slips, and the more people will start to realise that they're a fake cunt. Now, one thing I can say about myself is, what you see is what you get. And if I'm pissed off, mate, I'll fucking rant and rave on my live feeds, or I'll have a laugh and a joke, or I'll have a boring chat about my drive to work. it is what it is. I am what I am, and I don't. There's no fronts with me whatsoever when I'm on camera or whether I'm not on camera. And there's days where you've spoke to me on the phone, and normally when Tom and I speak on the phone, we'll have a video chat. And sometimes it's literally me saying, "Tom, did you send them emails?" Yeah, I've sent them. What response did you get? This, okay, I've got to go. Bam, gone. There's other days where we'll talk on the phone for half an hour and have a laugh and a joke, and it's fuck all to do with work. And it's not because when I'm being an arsehole with him. Or not so much an arsehole, but when I'm being short and sharp, I ain't got time to fucking sit and have an half an hour chat with Tom. Simple as that. And the truth of it is, I used to live feed from my office regularly, daily, in fact. And I don't get time to do that anymore because I am in meetings with the MD. We've got running another £4 million business that we're trying to grow and make sure we don't go under employing 80 people. And I've got the same pressures with that job as I have with my own business. That is, if that goes wrong, there's 80 people that ain't got a fucking livelihood. And so when I jump in my car and I've got half an hour to go from the factory to my house or from my house to the factory or 50 minutes to drive and drop Billy home and drive back, I use them times to have a live feed because I haven't got 2 hours in my day anymore to sit on live feed in my office and fucking about. So but what you see is what you get. And if I'm being pissed off and snappy and narky, that's because that's the mood I'm in. And I'm never, ever pissed off and then go onto a live feed and I'm all like, ha, 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 perfect pause here for an hour. And I switch it off and I'm back to miserable, grumpy, fucking shouting and moaning about everyone. I'll shout and moan about people on my live feed or I won't. It just depends what fucking mood I'm in. But all the people out there that are doing it, they know who they are and the halos slip from time to time. And the more it slips, the more people realise how fucking fake they are. And obviously,
that's a big thing though. That is a massive thing though, because to me, the realism from certain people, you can tell who's real now, and a lot of people you can tell who's real. And it's not even down to sort of faces in the industry. It's down to people on Facebook who are just consumers, who are just on Facebook. There, people can just change up on just for random. To me, be yourself, be real, and this goes back to the fact is that, and I've said this before on another live. And Paul's my friend. Outside vaping, he's my friend, but he's also my boss. And there's a level. And so if I get a bollocking, I get a bollocking. And I do what I have to fucking do. And if I don't get a bollocking, we're just friends, then we're friends. But I know the levels and I know someone's being real to me. And that's what people more appreciate is realism rather than being, oh, fucking hell, you're an arsehole, behind your back and not telling you to your face. Let's be real. Let's all be honest. Let's be open. Let's be a better sort of community and speak properly. And communicate. There's a massive lacking community, and as you said earlier about Adele and stuff, and people behind the back and whatnot. I'm sure you would appreciate more of a message to somebody saying you're a cunt than rather you chatting behind the back.
I said it last week. I think it was last week or the week before that. Actually, I've gone to vape meets and I've shook hands with people that I don't like, and not even that I don't like them. They're not my cup of tea. They're not someone that I would. And to be. I'm trying to sort of say this without sounding like an absolute two-faced prick myself, but like with you, Tom, I actually liked you as a person and a friend before ever you worked for me.
Yeah.
And
you didn't at first. We've made this clear in a light.
No, I didn't think he was an obnoxious fucking fat northern prick.
This is different. You told me that you thought I was a prick. You told me, so I knew you didn't fucking. You thought I was a prick. So I knew that, so you didn't have to fucking lie behind my back. But
the point is, even when, I mean, the story very quickly is Tom come to our shop. It was actually Expo weekend and we got a massive vape meet on and Tom come there with the biggest slag in the vape industry. I won't mention a name because I'm not about that. But I walked into my own shop and I'd already shook hands with Tom at Expo because I'd been and met Dale, because that was around the same time that I just took Dale's liquid off him for the shop. And I walked into my own shop and Tom didn't even say hello to me and he fucking sat there and I thought, you fucking fat prick. I thought, you ignorant cunt, as if you're that far up your own arse, you can't even say hello to me. And then actually when I got to know Tom, I know that Tom's quite, he's not, as much as Tom will sit on this live feed and have a laugh and a joke and be Tom, big Tom, actually he's quite introvert person. He's not very out there and stuff like that. But when we got past that point of me understanding and realising that actually you weren't such a fat prick after all, you were quite a nice geezer.
Just fat.
when you applied for the job at endless. I employed you because of what I thought your abilities was, not because I liked you as a friend. And vice versa, if I didn't particularly like you as a person, but I thought you were the best salesperson in the world, I'd have still employed you, but we'd have had a different working relationship because it would have been very platonic, very, Tom, this is what I want you to do. Tom, what's the results? Tom, you haven't hit the results, sort your shit out. Tom, well done on that. Tom, not so good on that. Tom, this is, because that's how I am at work. People that I employ that I don't like, I'd never go out and have a drink with them. They're not my cup of tea, but they work for me. I respect them. They respect me. I ask them to do a job. They do it. We pay them a wage to do that job. They fuck off on a Friday. I'd never ever go around to their kids' birthday parties because I don't fucking like them. That's the truth. I mean, that's just me. So I can't mix with people. I can't be friends with people that I couldn't be friends with. I know that's a bit of a stupid statement, but if I don't like someone for the person that they are, I don't give a fuck how big they are in this industry. I don't give a fuck how big they are in any industry. I don't give a fuck who they are, what they're worth, how many fucking people they've got hanging out their arsehole. If I don't like them, I don't fucking like them. Simple as that. And yet there's other people in this industry like Adele who doesn't get the credit for what she does for this industry, who's breaking her balls tirelessly to try and do some good. And people feel the need to put her down because, and I genuinely think it's a jealous thing because I've seen women hanging out of her arse to a point where, and trying to take her for a mug as well. I mean, they've realised Adele ain't as stupid as she might fucking sound when she's talking. And she's told them about themselves. They fall out with her, leave the group, they're setting up their own groups, or they're fucking hanging out the arse of someone else on another group because they believe they've got the ability to fucking conquer the world. And I suppose it's a bit like, the only analogy I can think of is if you see a proper stunning fit bird with a proper ugly looking bloke, most blokes would go, if she's fucking him, she'd probably fuck me. No, do you know what I mean? And it's like with Adele, I'm sure they're going, they think she's stupid. And I know from talking to Adele that she's not fucking stupid. She's far from it. But she's very real. She's very her. She's very dippy. She's very quick to speak before she thinks. But that is what makes Adele Adele. And I know they're thinking, if she can do that live feed in a fucking dressing gown and say the stupid things she says, I should be able to do it. And the thing is, when you try and replicate something, Tom, and it comes back to something you said 10 minutes ago, people see through real.
Yeah.
And even if that real is someone who's annoying as fuck, their laugh drives you mad, what they say is generally fucking trite because it don't make sense because they're stupid, but they're real. They will get accepted way, way, way more easily by people. And people will follow them then. Like, there's people that Adele does a live feed and she do a giveaway and she might have 300 viewers in a live feed. And she does a random one and she might attract 60, 70, 80 people just talking about fucking falling out of a bedroom window or whatever mad shit she does. And actually, the people that tune into Adele's live feed, whether it be 80 or 60 or 30, is more our Paul driving home from work. But then people are tuning into Adele because of Adele, because she's not giving football away. I see people that can get 600 viewers like that, mate, when they're giving away fucking 700 million bottles of liquid. Yeah. When they're doing a random live feed on their ones, they might have fucking 6, 7 people. And that's because there's people out there that want free shit, and there's people out there that want to engage with people that they like. And whether you like Adele or you don't, if you genuinely don't like Adele for the person that she is, or like me, I can't like someone who I couldn't be friends with. Because everything they do fucking grates on me, grinds on me, and it pisses me off because they're just not my cup of tea. Then actually, I can't be normal with them. I can't let myself go. I can't just be me because I end up just wanting to punch him in the head, if I'm being honest. So most of the people that I've become pals with over my life have been very like-minded, same sort of sense of humour, people that I can have a laugh and a joke with, but people I can be serious with and people that I can be honest with. And I don't know, but I just see a lot of fake bullshit out there, mate, a lot of it.
Everything you just said is absolutely bang on. It is proper bang on. And I can't even fucking elaborate on what you just said because you said everything. I can't elaborate. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to skip a couple subjects and I'm going to go on to ask Paul because I've got a few questions that I'd like to ask. And there's some decent questions. And there's a few I think you may have answered before, but I don't think you've done it on one of the banter shows. So the first question I've got is, why did you call Endless Endless? And did you have any other names apart from Endless?
I actually answered this on a live feed earlier on.
Did you really? Did you really?
Work.
So the fucking same person might have asked it on a fucking live.
It's probably the same cunts, mate. It's just fucking. When we started, obviously we used to buy clone mods, and we had a very good relationship with one mod company in particular that we were buying clones off. And actually, I got them to make. I wanted to do what Complive done, which was to make accessories for other people's authentic mods. So I wanted to make a different fitting that would screw into the. I wanted to make a different hybrid deck for the rig mod back in the day because I hated the roughneck. So I was going to launch a deck that would screw into the rig and it'd be a 2-post deck or a 4-post deck. So you weren't restricted by that fucking ridiculous 3-post deck. I wanted to make
cotton every time you put a cap on.
I wanted to make a top cap for an AV that was 22mm or 25mm, not just 24mm. I wanted to make a stacked extension for the AV that meant you could line up your logos. To be honest, all the things that pissed me off as a consumer, where when I'd spent 200 quid on an able and I spent 120 on a fucking stackable, and I put it all together and my fucking logos are all over the place, it used to drive me fucking mad. And I'll never understand why they made that stackable one piece for the centre collar when they could have had a ring on there, the same size as a ringer ring, that you could have spun round and put the logo bang smack centre of your RDA and screwed it up and jobs are fucking good. And I didn't understand why they didn't do a 22mm top cap. I didn't understand why they didn't do a 25mm top cap. You know what I mean? All these sort of things. I didn't understand why they didn't do a recessed button, because people were using the recessed buttons off the Manhattans and stuff like that because the AV didn't do one. They were all external threads and external fires. So that's really where the whole relationship with the company came from, was how can we make something that will benefit the user that the company that's making the mod doesn't make or can't be asked to make. And then at the time, I was carrying the largest UK collection of Limitless by a long way. I had a massive Limitless collection. I love Limitless. I love the fact I could change it. The downside to me was that, and this is something I spoke to, I don't know, Hero from Signature Tip, Shake Farhan. I spoke to him, bloody hell, 4 years ago and says, we need to bring out a mod and an RDA where you can just buy a top cap. And if you want a copper mod, you can change the copper bits to copper. And if you want a brass mod, you can change the brass bits to brass. And if you want this, you can just buy that. And if you want that, you can just buy this. And to be fair, we were both busy, and he was busy doing signature tips, and then he started doing signature mods and all of that malarkey. But one of the things that I wanted to do was make a stacked extension for the Limitless mod. And we had a sample come that screwed into the switch section, and then you screwed the switch into that, so you stacked it from the bottom. And the thing is, because of the way that the switch is machined on a Limitless, actually, you can't actually screw something into that bottom and still have the same pass-through.
Yeah.
It has to overlap the tube that's already there because it just does, because of the way it's machined. So I was like, fuck's sake. And then we obviously carried Limitless clones where the hybrid screwed off.
Yeah.
And actually, the mod company says to me, I can't make you a stacked extension for the Limitless Authentic, but what I can do is I can make you a stacked extension for the Limitless clone, because we can unscrew the hybrid. And then I was like, well, hang on a minute. If we do that, I don't particularly want to sell product for a clone market.
Yeah. Because
quite honestly, from a business point of view, I wanted to target product that was going to people that were spending 300, 400, 500 quid on a cotton candy, that might have wanted to run a 22mm mod on it, or they might have wanted a stainless steel topper, or they might have wanted a black rhodium topper, or they might have wanted a fucking copper topper, and these parts from AV were grossly expensive. So, like, I don't want to sell product to the clone market. So then I was like, well, hang on a minute, what's involved in us creating our own mod? And then if we do it, because that hybrid screws off, the absolute benefit of that was that one, the switch screwed off from the bottom of the tube, so the hybrid screwed off from the top. If you want a brass mod, we can sell a brass hybrid and a brass switch, and you can screw it onto your copper tube. And when you've got your sleeve on, you can't see the sleeve, but it looks like you've got a brass mod in your hand. And if you want to do the same with aluminium, you can do that. And if you want to do this, you can do that. And if you want to do that, you can do the other. Can we make it stackable? Should we mark it as a stackable device? And then it was a bit sort of limitless, but with so many more options. And I said earlier, and we had the statements on our last booth. With some mechanical mods, your options are limited. With ours, they're endless, and it's true. Limitless were called limitless, but the only thing limitless about limitless was how many fucking different sleeves you could buy.
Yeah.
And then they started selling button inserts for astronomical amounts of money. And actually, when I sorted out my case, I was looking for something the other day. I was looking for a 20mm deck because I wanted to put a 2-post build in the new Emperor, which is there, by the way. And I went into one of my old cases, and I've actually got the original logo and EM on a switch that will fit a limitless, which I had made. And it's mad. It was fucking hell. It was just like a number 8 on its side with the EM on it. And that was the logo. So that's really where it came from. Now, at the time where I'd sort of said to Tasha, I'm going to have a bash at making our own mods. What should we call it? I think endless was something that was up there from the start because actually, and it wasn't to sort of be that close to limitless. I genuinely felt like your options were endless with this thing because you could. Our plan was to sell different inserts for the switches, but at fucking $14.99, not 70 quid for a Modman one, and we could do different switch housings, and we could do different hybrids, and we could do flush flat hybrids 24mm, or we could do the vented hybrid that's on the sleeve mod, or we could do this, or we could do that, or we could have different sleeves and rings, and there's fucking hell, the options are literally endless. But then I also like the idea of calling it options. So them were my two names, and I remember saying to Tash, "Do you reckon endless or options?" And she was like, "Endless." And I was like, and I preferred options, if I'm being honest. And the only thing that put me off options was that bloody Cadbury's do the options range of hot chocolate. So that's where Endless was born. That's why the name was Endless. It wasn't a direct knock at Limitless. It was nothing to do with the fact that less at the end and less at the end. It was none of that. It was. I really felt like we created something that had endless options as far as doing it. If you look back to the Instagram right from the very start, one of the hashtags we always used was endless options because
it still gets used to this day.
You could run it with a hybrid. You could run it with a 510. The V1 had a 24mm hybrid. The V2 had a 25. Sorry, the V1 had a 22mm hybrid that was chamfered to 22mm like a limitless. The V2 had a 24 chamfered hybrid. We had the 510s in copper, brass, and alloy. And if you wanted to run an aluminium endless, it would have cost you, off the top of my head, 25 quid for the hybrid and the full switch set. Which switch, a set of silver plated magnets, and the button and the hybrid, and you get that, and you screw your one off your brass mod, and you switch off your brass mod, and you screw them on. You've got an aluminium mod in your hand. Doesn't matter what was in the middle because you couldn't see. And so there you go. That's the answer to that question, Mr. Wood.
That's absolutely awesome. Next one is, how long does it usually take you to design a mod?
It can be 15 minutes, or it can be weeks or months. It just depends. I've got an idea. You know what? I get a lot of ideas, and one thing that I'm an absolute arsehole for is running my mouth too much with what I think or what we're working on and what we should be doing. And I know over the years there's been mod companies out there, big mod companies, where I've posted stuff and I've posted 3D CAD drawings and stuff and says, what do people think of these? And bam, fucking Complo dropped a fucking Spectrum mod and all the double cross. And I remember posting a CAD 3D drawing for an endless sleeve fucking back in the day on Mech Addiction. That actually was machined from a piece of hex bar. And then it got various machines across the hex bar that put the pattern into it. Plus you'd started off with the hexagon to start off with. And actually my nephew sent it to me. and says, "How do you think about this for a sleeve design?" I was like, "That's fucking sick. That is actually be a wicked mod, that would." And I swear to God, I sent the 3D drawing to China, and she sent me back a message saying, "Which mod is this copy of?" And I said, "It fucking isn't, you mad cunt. It's something that I want to make." And she was like, "How do we make?" And I was like, "I don't know. You fucking tell me." She said, if you send me original, we can copy it. And I was like, it's original. It's mine. I want to make it. And I couldn't translate to them what I wanted and how to do it. And then within 3 months of that, Complive dropped all that range of fucking double crosses and all that range of mods that were all cross machine mods, basically, of some now. Even the Spectrum, which is pimply. It's only pimply because they're the bits where have not been machined out, really. But it definitely came from that concept of the tube. And at the time, Adam Harper was active in mech addiction and stuff like that. And I might be talking completely out of turn, and you might not have a clue what I'm talking about. And someone will be tagging Adam Harper in a post saying, "Paul says you've copied him." We've done a lot of things. I can remember speaking to China before ever AV had done a see-through, or Complive had ever done a see-through sleeve that was an option for the Able mod. And when we released our Endless in the November, I'd never seen an Able mod. That is the absolute truth. I'd never seen an Able mod. And the first Able mod I seen was when Dale dropped them in the UK, because I was never about seeing what other people were doing. I wasn't active in lots of groups. I was active in a very, very small circle on Facebook. But I remember, I remember saying to the Chinese people, what I want to do is, we'd already got the sleeve mod out. So then I was saying to them, what's the wall thickness of the sleeve? And for argument's sake, it was 1.5 mil. I can't remember. It's probably more than that. Yeah, 1.5, 3, 22, 4. Yeah. So it was 25 mil outside diameter on the sleeve mod. So the sleeves were about 1.5 mil wall thickness. So I remember saying to China, what about if you make the sleeve 1 mil wall thickness that gives us 1 mil to play with? And then make me some 0.5 mil wall thickness plastic sleeves that slide over the body of the mod, and then you slide the sleeve over that, and then we'll put some cutouts in the sleeve, and the plastic sleeve could be purple, it could be resin, it could be pink, it could be blue, and then we'll put cutouts in the sleeve, and then we could do something similar with the RDA, so you could actually start mixing and matching different colours. And then I seen fucking AV drop the see-through sleeve, and I was like, for fuck's sake. And literally, there's been so many things along 3 years where I've thought, I'm doing that. And then someone else has dropped it. And obviously, great minds do think alike. And if I'm having an issue with something, you can guarantee there's thousands of people out there having that same issue. As much as there's thousands of people out there that love the roughneck, there was thousands of people out there that fucking hated the roughneck. Yeah. Because it was on what was considered a competition mod, and you couldn't put a fucking competition build in the country if you wanted to. So I'm not suggesting any of them big companies have sat and blatantly waited for me to say stuff, but definitely I've discussed things that other people have had the ability to get to fruition much faster than me. And then I've took a backward step because I didn't want to appear to be copying my own idea that I'd come up with fucking 6 months before. Yeah. And that's happened on lots of, even
not the sleeve that was copied. What was the sleeve that was copied?
Well, that was blatantly copied. That was the rib sleeve for the sleeve mod, and they brought out the Activist 2, which was exactly the same as the sleeve that I'd sent Eric. And as much as Eric assures me that he had nothing to do with that and it was Lindsay, Lindsay can fucking suck a fat one. Take me to court, you fucking rat bastard. Because when I genuinely then. Obviously, I had a massive support from Eric Hutchinson, and he pushed our products for us, and he reposted our stuff on his Instagram, and we were taking orders from America for see-through sleeves and cutout sleeves and rings and whatever else. And it was really, and the other thing it done, which was just proves the fickleness of this industry and the people in this country, is the minute Eric Hutchinson endorsed our products by saying, check out this UK company, they're making fantastic accessories for our mods. All the cunts that had called me a cloning bastard for fucking 6 weeks suddenly says, all right, Paul, you ain't got 5 rings, have you, for an Able? And I want two purple, 3 stainless, please. And they were buying a whole set of rings for 15 quid instead of buying a set of Complive for 60 quid plus fucking $60 shipping or whatever it was, mad ridiculous. So I believe that I sent Eric that our care package and stuff, and to be fair, he gifted us an unetched M1P5, which weren't even released in the UK, a stack cotton candy that Tash had, a cotton candy mod father, a brass mod father that I've still got to this day. All that stuff I've still got. His care package to me was worth a lot more money to me financially than what mine was to him. However, some cunt in that factory put that sleeve on an Able and says, that looks sick. And it did look sick. I know that Stuart Matthews was rocking a stainless one on his, he had a stacked black, not his murder date, but he had another stacked AV set and he had rings on one section.
The black flattened.
Yeah, I know he had some stacked AV and he had some knurled rings and some black rings on it. And then he ended up putting the groove sleeve off, the stainless groove sleeve on, or the polished aluminium groove sleeve of mine on. And they look sick on an Able because there was nothing out there like it. And then they literally turned it into a mod. And I found out by seeing a picture of a stacked Activist 2, thinking someone had used 2 of my sleeves on a stacked Able and commenting on it and saying, that looks fucking sick. What do you think of the sleeves? For him to reply back saying, someone on the AV team, saying, they're not sleeves, brother. That's the new Activist 2, dude. And I was like, you fucking what? And I messaged Eric and says, you're a slimy cunt, mate. There's fucking no need for that. Do you know what I mean? It's a cunt trick. And he said, mate, it's nothing to do with me, mate. He said, I didn't want to release it. There was so many Activist 2s there in the factory. The ones that have gone out to market were prototypes. They're not even production runs. They've put them out there. Lindsay's done it. It's fuck all to do with them. And I was a bit like, well, it's a fucking cunt trick. But the thing that pissed me off more at Tommy's, the same people that in the UK should be supporting what we do, whether they like us or whether they don't, they should support what we do. Not just me, Dale, V-Juice, Zeus Juice, AIV, fucking Smug Mods, CCC, all them UK companies that are trying to do something and make something of this industry should get the full support of the UK, even if you don't like what we're doing. I'm not asking you to buy our mods. Just give us some, even if it's moral support. But the same cunts that abuse me for copying them, not once posted up a picture of an Activist 2 and says, as if fucking AV's Rob Paul's design. They're secretly sat at the back sniggering about it, going, Paul's had his fucking stuff cloned, man. See how he fucking likes it. And I just think you're a pack of twats, man. There's no need for it, really. But so yeah, that pisses me off as well. But next question.
Nice to wear it, isn't it?
Huh?
Nice to wear it.
Sometimes you just have to get shit off your chest.
Fucking 100%, mate. Once again, I just called you mate, and I never do. Sorry, I do apologise. Another question I've got is, would you ever release a mod that is bigger than the Dirty?
No.
And what's the reason behind you wouldn't release it?
The only time I would do one is wider is if we done a quad parallel or a series parallel quad, and then I physically can't get in a smaller footprint, so it's going to have to be at least 38 to 40 mil.
Would you do a matching RDA?
Huh?
Would you do a matching RDA?
You know what? If I'd done something like that, I'd have to. And something I've been thinking about. One thing that we've not ventured into is box mods, and actually, it doesn't seem like there's a market for box mods until someone posts a box mod. And the reality is, there's not many parallel boxes out there that aren't 3D printed anymore. There's not many series boxes out there that aren't 3D printed. What I was thinking was whether we could do a square. I'll use the Hammer of God as a reference, but it's not about cloning the Hammer of God. The Hammer of God is a fantastic mod in that footprint. They've got a small footprint for a quad, 18650. But then if you can imagine that mod going from a square into a tube at the top, so it'd have a bit of a shrink on its neck, and it'd be round at the top instead of square. Because as much as I like the idea of doing a square RDA, the chances of being able to line up your fucking airflow control in the right place to get the square RDA to sit right, it fucking twists more shit every day. Because I've thought about how do we do it to make it work. I've thought about putting like even on all of our latest stuff now, is logo free. And I've done that for two reasons. One, it keeps the cost down. And the other thing is you can put that RDA anywhere you like, and you can take a picture. And anyone who's watching this live feed, if you've never once readjusted your RDA just to take a picture for Facebook and then put it back to where it needs to be to vape it, you're a fucking liar if you say you've never done it wrong, because that happens regular. That's the new 22mm Slammer. And I'm not engraving it EM, or I'm not engraving it Slammer. I just think they look nicer, clean, to be honest. I don't feel the need to have to put our logo over everything just so people know it's us. So there's the option of, but the thing with the square one is it's got to fit four corners. So then do we go with an airflow that wraps around the whole of the RDA? Obviously, I've already thought I'd like to do a square mod or a 50p P-shaped mod and a 50p P-shaped RDA. But you've got to make sure you've got the ability to line the airflow where it needs to be, because I can't always guarantee where the hybrid will be. And the threads on the RDA might not necessarily be the same. So you can't guarantee that your fucking airflow is going to be there. Therefore, when you put the cap on and you've got the airflow holes according for your build, that the fucking cap's going to be square onto a square mod. It's not the easiest thing to do without making a bollocks of it just for the sake of it. Do you know what I mean? So I'm just
racking it through my mind. I'm just sat here thinking.
I've thought about it lots and lots and lots and lots. And do we go for a square mod that goes round at the top? Do we do a square mod that's got some round in the middle and square above it, and then we go back to round for the RDA? I don't know, is the truth of it, because it has to look. It has. You know what? To be fair, I honestly,
it's got to be.
I love that mod. The Emperor for me is one of the nicest looking mods to hit the market in a long time. And but it works. But the truth of it is, people still buy with their eyes.
Yeah, it's not aesthetically pleasing.
Sick on buying that. So it's pointless having something that's absolutely the most conductive, superconductor $10,000 mod that's ever been made if he looks like a crock of shit. Because you might sell one of them. There's always one idiot out there that'll buy it just to blow some smoke up your ass, as they done with fucking Comploff, etc., etc., etc. But for me, exactly, it's all very well if you're fucking vaping it in -40 conditions. It's brilliant. But I mean, it's finding the balance between the aesthetics have got to be on point and the performance have got to be good. I don't think the performance has to be exceptional. I think the performance has to be good, but the aesthetics have to be right. And when you start doing square mods and fucking off-shape mods, you can't always guarantee the aesthetics.
I do like that one. So in that case, not yet, but if we get it right, we might do a 40mm.
I wouldn't go bigger than 34mm with a round mod.
With a round two. Right. Let's get into a bit more of you. These are a little bit more sort of personal questions. Outside vaping, what are your hobbies, Paul?
You know what? I don't have any hobbies really. But things like even taking Ava to dance has become sort of a hobby. It's nice to watch her progressing. Do you know what I mean? So actually, hobby. And look, Tasha's bought me two fucking. I've got a drone. I've got the fucking plane. I genuinely am looking forward to the light nights coming, so I can go out, even if it's with the kids, and do something different. Do you know what I mean? I quite like the idea of learning how to play the piano, and we've got a piano in the house. But it's things like that. I mean, I haven't got no hobbies where I'm not a darts player. I don't play dominoes. I'm not a drinker.
Definitely don't go fucking fishing.
I used to be a keen golfer back in the day, but then I broke my elbow and that went south. But you know what? As I've got older, I actually just enjoy my time. But whatever that.
Appreciate that.
Huh?
Very much a family man. All your spare time is with the family.
No, I mean it's not all. We're not. Don't get me. We're not like fucking the Waltons. You know what I mean? We don't wake up every Saturday and go, morning, Dad, morning, children, morning, Natasha, morning, Dad. Right, let's go out and have a family picnic. I mean, some days you go to me, will you fucking get from under my feet? I'm cleaning the house. Back up upstairs when I'm tidying up. We're a normal family. But actually, I genuinely enjoy my time with my family, and that's whether like I says, whether we're sitting there on phones not talking to each other and actually talking to each other on someone's status on fucking Facebook, or whether it's going out or like I'm looking forward to Jam on Saturday because actually it's just me and Tasha. We've got a chance to drive down there and she can be on her phone while I'm driving and we're not talking. And then get to Jam and I'll meet all my fans. And then I'm genuinely like she says to me, have you asked such and such to come? And I says I didn't ask because actually I just thought it'd be nice for me and you to drive down there every day together, drive back, and we don't get a chance to do it very often. Obviously, the more fucking siblings that we produce, the harder it is to fuck them up somewhere. So like we've actually used 2 distribution sources this weekend to fucking 4 of them up. So. But no, I genuinely enjoy being at home, and some weekends I enjoy dashing around the house in my fucking shorts and doing fuck all. And then other weekends, even when Tash can't be arsed, I might say, come on, let's just go out and do something. Or there's weekends where she says to me, I can't sit in this fucking house anymore, let's go out and do something. So we do a lot together as a family, even if it's not doing fuck all.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So in the summer, we might sit out in the garden, we've got the kids with us, or whatever we're doing, we tend to do together with the kids, really. That's the truth. But hobby-wise, I don't know. I always felt like I should have a hobby, really. But then the trouble with me is I can't do anything by half. So if I start now, we've bought the kids a piano for Christmas a few Christmases ago, and I wanted Mia or one of the kids to have piano lessons, and probably to live a dream of mine, because I used to have piano lessons when I was a kid, and then when you get to the age of like 11 and 12 and you start growing pubes and you're too cool to fucking go to a piano lesson, I stopped going. And it's one of my biggest regrets. And then the shop next door to Dudley's a music shop that does piano lessons. And I'm genuinely thinking I should have piano lessons myself and actually do my grades and do something. And it's something that I've always wanted to do. I know that my granddad used to be able to play the piano and stuff like that. So, but then I know if I start having piano lessons, mate, I'm going to end up having like a 3-hour piano lesson 7 days a week until I can play the piano in 6 months, because I'm an impatient prick. So like have a piano lesson once a week, just going. I'm like, I can fucking do that. What's the next beat now? What's the next beat? I can do that. So I struggle with hobbies because I can't do nothing by half. And like I said the other day, if you was to even convince me to go fishing, I'm going to end up landing there with enough gear that people would think I'm a pro fisherman. And I don't even know what I'm doing. I don't even know what casting on and casting off is. You know what? I just don't. It's just something I've never done. My dad weren't into football, so I'm not a football fan. If football's on I'll watch England play because I'm English and I turn into a fucking good fucking football pundit when England are playing. But like, I don't follow football. I support the Blues because I'm from Birmingham, but I ain't got a clue who plays in the team. So that's just more a loyalty thing to where I come from. But I don't support Birmingham City, really. I just would prefer to go and watch them over someone else just because they're my local team. So we're not like a sporting family. I used to I'd love to do motorsports of some nature, but I'm too old to do it now. And like even Billy's 15, I'd love to be this. Not necessarily too old to do, but I mean to actually do it to the level that I would want to do it to. I ain't got enough years left in me. But if financially I could support Billy doing something like that, I'd love to do that. The same as I'd love Mia to learn to play the piano, and I'd like to maybe get back into playing golf. Or I don't know. I say hobbies for me really. I enjoy watching the kids grow up. Genuinely, I'm not trying to sound like Mr. Walton and oh yes, we're a perfect family, because we're far from it. There's days where they're fucking annoying me and I fuck them off upstairs out of my way and whatever, or I'm coming from work and I've been busy, or me and Tasha talking and we just want us, you know what I mean, just have some us time and stuff like that. But I do enjoy watching my kids grow up, and I enjoy I don't know, living my life through them is not the right thing, because actually I don't force them to do anything they don't want to do either. But yeah, so hobby-wise, I haven't got none, mate, to be fair, because I haven't got the time needed for me personally to dedicate to a hobby because I know it'd end up consuming my life. Like this time next year, I'll be playing off fucking 3 on the golf course, but we wouldn't have no new mods because I'll be like, I ain't got time to fucking design mods. I'm a golfer now.
I'm banging the golf clubs.
The golf course.
Yeah, that's what happens. That's how I am. I'm just wired to be that way.
I don't mind going to a country club. We go to a country club.
I quite like the thought of owning the golf course actually. Yeah, fuck, we'll have it more rules, man. Rules and flat caps in that. You got to wear fucking shorts. You got to have at least 6 tattoos. Yeah.
And you use a cricket bat to hit the ball
on every hole. You don't even playing on my golf course. Fuck you. Don't play. Mate, I was playing on quite a high spec club. My fees going back maybe 20. Billy's 15. Billy's 16 in November. So 15 years ago, January gone is when I broke my elbow. So I would have been 27 and completely snapped the cap off my, off this elbow, completely snapped the cap off this elbow. So it's pinned and plated. So my arm don't actually straighten fuller. And obviously when you're swinging, I've played golf since and I can do it, but I put that much force through a swing, it actually hurts my elbow still to this day. So that happened 15 years ago. I played golf for probably 5 years before that. So 22 to 27, maybe something like that sort of 26 or whatever it was. And I never had a golf lesson in my life. I bought some stolen golf clubs off the local car thief. I'm not even going to lie. And the police are watching this. I just said that for shits and giggles. So I turn up at the driving range with the set of Titleist DCIs, which at the time Tiger Woods was playing with and maybe still does, I don't know. I had a full set of Big Bertha, a 3, 5 and a 1 Big Bertha, £350 a club. I had fucking some 69-degree pitching wedge that you could get it to go to 600 meters high in fucking 30 foot and get some backspin on it and all that. This is the first time I've ever even swung a golf club, mate. I'd never swung a golf club before, and I turned up at the driving range, and I remember some geezer next to me and my uncle used to play, and he's dead now, God bless him. But Jeff used to say to me, "Come and play golf, man." I was like, "Mate, I'd rather just go for a walk. I don't get the point of stressing myself out chasing a fucking ball. It's like a really good walk, spoiled in my opinion." So he was like, "Nah, come and play." So I went to the range with him. I knocked a few balls with him, and then between that Saturday and the next Saturday, I've turned up at the golf range with fucking £2,000 worth of golf clubs. And the geezer next to us says to his pal, "Mate, have you seen my man's kit over there?" Now I'm fucking teeing up, not really sure which way my fucking tee even goes in the grass. I'm trying to balance the ball on the fucking spiky bit. I heard this geezer go, "Mate, look at his fucking gear, man." And obviously I'd bought it second hand. That's like second hand. That's I bought it second hand out of the boot of someone's car. Got stolen from the golf course. When I went to look at the clubs, I didn't have a clue from one set of clubs to the other, but I knew that Big Bertha was a good make, and I knew that Tiger Woods played with Titleist DCIs, and there was a set of Dunlops that had the Big Berthas in there, and there was a set of DCIs that had the DCI drivers. And I said to the geezer, and I paid £50 for this set of clubs, mate. And I had the bag, I had balls, I had the fucking lot. And I was a bit like, "I want the Titleist DCIs, but I want the Big Berthas. So if you do that, I'll give you £50. And he was like, "Yeah, sweet." So I had that set of clubs, turned up at the range, knocked a few balls. In fact, I'm telling a lie. I didn't have them. I picked them up on the Friday. I'd been to the range in the week, but I played with my uncle's clubs, and he had a set of Cobras. And he used to work at the factory that I am the director of now. And they sacked him back in the day for various reasons. And he took him to tribunal and won the tribunal and got some dough out of him. And the thing he bought with his money was he bought this brand new set of Cobra clubs, which at the time was about £1,500. And I went down the driving range with my uncle. I was having a knock with his Cobra clubs. My pal phoned me on the Friday afternoon and says, mate, the lads have got a couple of sets of clubs if you're interested. Go to such and such. They'll meet up with you. And if you want some, just take them. They want 50 quid a set. Yeah, sweet. Went there, got my clubs. So I turn up at the golf course, which is the golf course that we passed going from my house down the, you know where you went to Green Dog Vaping's meet on Coventry Road? About another half a mile up that road, there's a massive golf course there. So Jeff said to me, we'll go and play at Hatchford Brook on Saturday. And so we turn up at Hatchford Brook. I'm on the tee. And the geezer behind me was on his own. And my uncle said to him, are you playing on your own, mate? He says, yeah. And he said, I'll join us if you like. And he was like, oh, brilliant. Thanks ever so much for that. So he joined us. And then the two geezers behind it, us three then, the one of them says, have you seen my man's clubs, mate? Fuck, you know, I want to watch him tee off. Now, I get up on the with me cue and whatever, with me golf cue. Fucking, I tee my ball up and I'm fucking there. The only thing I was lacking was a fucking Pringle fucking tank top, yellow polo shirt, a flat cap, and my +4s. I had fucking everything else, mate. And I'm on the tee now, and I've got my fucking club there. And I swung, and I've gone bam. And the thing with me was I didn't understand anything technically about a golf swing at that point in my life. And anything I learned myself by watching YouTube, by watching them play golf on the telly. And my ex-father-in-law used to play, and he was playing off about 8, so he was a pretty good golfer. And actually, I hit the ball at about 6,000 miles an hour off the fucking tee, and it went about the length of my living room at about 1,000,000 miles an hour, and then took a sharp right through the fucking hedge, and it went through the hedge onto the green of the 18th coming back. And I was about that far away from the fucking flag on the 18th off the fucking first tee. And I felt like a prize prick, I did. The geezer behind me who was watching me, waiting for me to do a 300-yard drive, was going to his mate, oh, you can catch that one very well. We got to about hole number 4, and I couldn't get no fucking height with this driver. And it was only, I can't remember what the loft of a driver is, but it was about an 8-degree driver, I think. And my uncle was playing me the 12-degree Cobra, and because of whatever way my swing was, I needed a different loft on my club to basically counteract my shit swing. Is the truth of it. I couldn't get under the ball with the driver, and the geezer that we'd picked up to play around with us, who we didn't know from Adam, we got onto about hole number 4, and Jeff says to me, my uncle, try teeing the ball up much higher, because you're obviously coming down on the ball. If you tee it up higher, you will sort of come under the ball and give it some height. If you can get some height, because my distance weren't a problem. It was just getting some height on the ball. And so fucking tee it up high again. And this time I teed it up high and I tried to go a bit lower. So I went under it, and it must have caught the bottom of the ball like that. And the ball shot up in the air and come down about 15 minutes later with fucking ice on it. About 3 foot in front of me. And I was like, fuck. By now, I'm already fucking throwing golf clubs around the fucking course. I'm pissed. I'm like, this game's fucking stupid. And I said, I think this club's fucked. Right? Fucking 400-pound drive, and I'm going, this club ain't right, man. It's fucked. And the geezer that come round me says to me, excuse me, mate, do you mind if I have a swing with your club? I'm thinking of getting one. And I said, knock your fucking self out, mate. And he fucking teed it up, and he went, pum, and it went about fucking 600 yards in a straight line. And I was like, you fucking flash prick. So then from that point on, I finished my round of golf, and then I went home, got showered, got changed, and went to a different driving range where they'd just got a driving range a few miles down the road. And I hit bucket after bucket after bucket after bucket. Then I started playing on the golf course in Shirley, which is where my father-in-law and my uncle were both members of. And I think my fees were about 1,800 quid a year. So it was quite, and this going back sort of 20 years, it was a lot of money. Very fucking prestigious golf course. No one fucking said fuck or bugger. And you weren't allowed to wear jeans, which is normal golf course etiquette. And I was playing off about 12 within 18 months. So pretty good for someone who'd never had a lesson. But I became really, really anal about my golf. And then I started in the summer. I might play Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 18 holes after work. Then I'd go and play a full 18 on a Saturday morning. And then if we teed off at 7 o'clock on a Saturday morning, sometimes we'd have another tee off booked for 2 o'clock in the afternoon. It just became what I'd done all the time. And then I'd become obsessed with bettering myself. So if I got down to 11, I'd want to play straight again and see if I could get around 10 over. And then I'd go fucking 14 over and I'd be like, fuck, I need to go round again. And I'd just become obsessed with it. But then we were playing on Captain's Day one day and it was fucking boiling hot.
What's Captain's Day?
It's basically some fucking stupid, pompous bullshit fucking shit that goes on at a golf course. And obviously one of the members he's the captain of the course for fucking 12 months or whatever. So they have Captain's Day where it's like just loads of people. Then they've got different events on and whatever else. And I remember it was a bank holiday and it was fucking hot. And obviously when you're playing golf, you're playing one gloved.
Yeah.
And the next day, it took me about 3 hours to understand why one of my hands was white and one of my hands was brown. It was because I'd got so much suntan on the one and that, like, it was baking hot. And it was that busy that every hole was backing up with fucking, like, 4 sets of 4 people. So you might be on the tee for 45 minutes before you even got to drive. And then the course was owned by a father and 3 sons. They were driving around on golf buggies with cans of popping ice buckets, giving it away free because it was so hot. And we teed off the 9th hole, and me and my uncle and 2 other people who I don't know from Adam teed off. And then obviously you tee off and you walk up to your ball and then you'll take your second shot. And once you've left and you're walking towards your second shot, normally then if it's busy, the people on the tee will then go, because on the basis that everyone's driving pretty much the same distance, once we've took our second shot and we're ready to take our third shot, they'll then take their first shot and they're nowhere near you.
Yeah.
We like walked up to our second shot. I'm fucking behind my ball on my second shot and a golf ball comes past me from the tee. So I've sort of put my hand up and says, fucking wait, you prick. Or words to that effect. I was quite polite at the start, to be fair. And I was a bit like, whoa, fucking calm down, mate. And then when we got to the tee and we were in the queue, when they caught us up, I said to him, mate, do you want to wait until we've at least took our second shot? And he was like, yeah, but it's busy. And I was like, it might be busy, but next time your ball comes near me, mate, I'm going to get busy on you with me fucking Big Bertha, you prick. He's like, what you on about? And I says, I promise you, if a ball comes near me again, I'm going to fucking swing your head off your shoulders, you fucking dickhead. Because I can't go anywhere until they've at least put it on the green and moved off to the next tee. So if I'm stood here waiting, it's not so I can hold you up, it's so I don't hit them with my fucking ball. Anyway, we get to hole 10, and I'm about to take my second shot, and the ball comes by me again. So when we got to the next tee, I've tried to punch my man's head off his fucking shoulders, like properly gone at him. And my ex-father-in-law was a bit of a pompous cunt, and he was like, oh, Paul, you can't do that. And I was like, do that? I said, I'll fucking beat the cunt to death in a minute, the fucking cheeky prick. And I got called up in front of the committee. And obviously you go there and they're all in their fucking flat caps, Pringle fucking tank tops and yellow polo shirts. And I rocked up and I was like, what the fuck's all this about, mate? My 1,800 quid's as good as any cunt's here. And he was like, oh, no, you swung a golf club at someone. I said, no, I'll fucking swing it at him again as well if he ever fucking shoots a ball at me, the prick. I said, you're going on about golf etiquette. That cunt's firing balls at me from the tee. And he was like, yes, but you should have pulled him about it. I said, I pulled him about it when we got to the next hole, and says to him, at least wait until we're knocking our second shot off. So you're pretty much 2 shots behind us. And then if he caught the ball by us off his drive and we're 2 shots away, I can't moan at him. He's just got a fantastically good drive. But when he's like, I'm no pro golfer. So if I'm driving 250 yards and this cunt's been playing for 30 years and his drive might be fucking 300 yards, he knows that he's got to wait for me to be so far ahead. So my days at the golf course didn't go down well because I just couldn't be doing with the pompous bullshit, to be honest.
Did you get kicked off? Is that more like, sorry, did you get kicked off?
Originally, they says, we're going to refund your fees. And I says, you know what, you do it right now then. And he's like, well, you're going to have to wait for the bank. I said, fuck you, I want my dough now. Go between the 3, because there was the dad and the 3 sons. I said, between the 3 of you, dig deep. I want my fucking 1,800 quid back. I want it now. I ain't leaving fucking nowhere. I'll go and smash your fucking golf course up. And I've kicked off in there, and they end up saying, and I says, but I still don't understand how someone of that length of stature in this club is allowed to shoot balls at me, and I'm getting bollocked for losing my temper. And in the end, they pretty much says, you know what, we'll reinstate you and blah, 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 blah. And I was like, all right, insane. But then I broke my elbow anyway, so I couldn't play. So.
And that's last time you've been back to a fucking goal. You just
to be honest, when me and Tash got together, I bought some clubs off eBay for about fucking 85 quid, just a cheap set of clubs. Just to go over the park and hit the ball and maybe go down the driving range, which I've done twice, I think.
You've never been a driving range?
No, I have.
what we'll do is we'll get you one of them for your birthday this year. I'll get you one of them putters for your office, or like a little bit of a grass mound.
You can get the one that goes between your fucking feet, can't you? When you're having a shit. It's about fucking that long, and you just sit there having a dump and fucking. I want one of them putters. When you put in, it spits the ball back at you.
Well, I had one last question, but I'm not going to ask it because that was epic, and I think the last question will just like die it off. So I think we should sign off here because the last question was just going to be what music you into, but that story was immense, and I think we should leave it there at that. I think we should sign off and say what we should say and let everybody go to bed because I think we've had a good show this week. I've actually really enjoyed the show this week.
Just for everyone watching, Tom saying, fucking pricks run over 15 minutes again. I ain't even ask him another question because he's going to end up talking to.
All right, okay then. I'll give you two.
I'm not answering no more questions. Fuck you.
Let's do two more questions then. All right, let's do two more questions. Let's do two. No, I'm not fussed. I'm not bothered. You ready? Right. Two more questions. So the question I've got, it's going to be the music one. So, what music do you like? And I know you've got a very fucking wide range of music.
That's exactly that, mate. I don't like nothing in particular, but I like lots of everything. So, I don't like classical because it's just not my bag. But I like 80s music. I like people. Like, honestly, right, one album that I can think off the top of my head that I could listen to from start to finish is Labour of Love 2 by UB40. And I know UB40 is very, very stereotypical white man reggae, and I'm from Birmingham. So I know me and Astro his son used to go to my school, and me and Astro are tight, man. But I do actually like that original UB40 stuff. I like hardcore reggae. I like chart music, but I prefer sort of 80s, 90s chart. I like old school reggae. I like some soul. I like R&B. So actually, proper mixed genre of music. I've got nothing in particular I like to listen to.
Do you think you mix back to? I'll say that again in English. Do you think your mixed batch of music, especially like me, is down to mum liking something and dad liking something totally different? My parents were very much.
Mate, my mum used to listen to Boney M. Brown girl in the ring, there's a brown girl in the ring. And Tasha didn't even know what that song was, mate. I had to YouTube it to her. The black girl didn't even know about Brown Girl in the Ring. So my dad used to like Neil Diamond. My dad used to like Freddie Mercury. My dad used to like Elton John, Phil Collins. But my dad we weren't really a family of people that had the radio on. And if the radio was on in the house, it was normally like fucking some prick talking on the radio more so than music.
Talksport by any chance? My mum always radio was like it was Talksport.
Family, hence me having to have a gastric band. We were all lazy fat men. So.
Yeah, but I'm a fat fucker, and my family's very much sporty.
So I mean, we weren't particularly a sporty family, but as a kid, we'd watch snooker was always on the telly when the championships were on. Darts would be on the telly. The England and the World Cup and the European Cup would be on the telly because England were normally playing in it. But music-wise now, I can remember. I used to listen to reggae a lot as a kid before reggae was even mainstream, and I remember having to go to specialty shops uptown to buy it because it weren't available in Woolworths and them type of shops. And I remember stopping at my pal's house, and he'd done me a tape copy of Reggae Eats 5, which is still one of my favourite albums from that sort of early 90s era. And I put it on upstairs, and my old man come up and says, "Turn that fucking wog music off." Like, welcome to the 90s. And I swear to God, he no. And then I was like, "What are you on about?" And he's like, "Fucking listening to that shit in there." And I was like, "Dad, it's reggae." He said, "I don't give a fuck what it is." He said, "All I can hear downstairs is bump, bump, fucking bump." So, so that was the end of me playing a little bit of reggae in the fucking house. That was down the pan. And then my mum would listen to ABBA. She definitely had the Boney M album as well, because I knew the words to Brown Girl in the Ring when I was about fucking 3. But then like I can remember when I got with Tash, and then I was playing a reggae CD in my car, and then a mum pinched it off me. She's like, and I know they're a bit like, as if the white boy's got reggae in his car, man. What the fuck? Yeah, Tash can go in and borrow this album. Just like, oh yeah, I'm going to pick up a Black Belt. Have you got a fucking Skepta album I can borrow, or Sizzler? Black man don't apologize to nobody, boy. The lassie, I'm a gunshot, your boy. Now, I do actually like reggae, and I used to really like Budget Banter back in the mid-90s when he was sort of up and coming, and like genuinely, I do actually like Budget Banter and stuff. And then I suppose it would be considered chart reggae, really, but I quite like chart reggae. There's some reggae that I fucking hate. I don't understand what the fuck they're saying. And if I don't understand what a song is about, I mean, there's some songs that I used to play in my cars when I was a youth just because the bass line was fucking sick in them. And I didn't have I could have been saying, oh, the white man, the batty boy, them. I wouldn't have had a fucking clue, mate, but the bass used to rock in my car. So I was like, yeah, I'm listening to that one. And then I remember when I was at the factory, we used to have another factory in Albury, which is probably about 5 miles from the house. And there was a couple of Rastafarians that used to work for us, and one of them had cut his hand open at the factory, and I dropped him to the hospital. And I can't even remember what. I had some reggae album in the car, and then when I got back to work the next day, the other Rastafarian who still works for me at the Birmingham factory now, Fredo, he come over to me. He's like, "Yo, boy, Joe was well impressed with your album, man." And I was like, "What?" And he's like, he come back. He said he come in this morning saying, Freddie, Paul's got fucking Sizzler album in the car, ain't he? Like, but, so you can't fuck about with this one, man.
That's fucking me. I because like today's music and going onto sort of topic of music, it's today's music is not because I'm very much I don't listen to chart music. I do not listen to chart music. And you know I like my sort of you what?
You're a fucking wigger.
You know I like my gangster rap and reggae and stuff like that, and that's but I wasn't brought up on that stuff. I was brought up on stuff like Fire people! No, I was brought up on stuff like my mum and my dad like Luther Vandross, ABBA. My dad likes rock, so like Led Zeppelin, UB40. I was brought up on UB40 without a doubt. There's a rat in my kitchen. What am I going to do? You know. Everyone knows that song. Red Red Wine. Everyone knows that song. I was brought up on very different sort of genre of music, very widespread. But as you said, like there was always music on in my house. You know, like you were saying, there was never sort of a radio, and the radio was on. It was sort of talking, but in my house was always music. So I've got quite a wide base of music, but these days kids don't know what real music is. It's all boom boom boom. Don't get me wrong, I like boom boom boom.
This is a true story. This is right. My mum and dad, we weren't wealthy by any stretch of imagination. Mum and dad were working class, but my dad worked fucking hard, and we always had nice things in the house. So my dad was a bit like me in the fact that my mum was a bit like me actually. If I wanted a 65-inch telly of a certain caliber of telly, and it was £4,000, but there was another 65-inch telly for 700 quid, I wouldn't buy the £700 one because I want the other one, and I'd save up and I'd get what I wanted. So if I wanted a pair of trainers, I wouldn't suffice with a different pair of trainers. I'd save up my money until I got the ones that I wanted. I'm still like that to this fucking day. It's not very often I'll make do with something because I don't see the point. You buy cheap, you buy twice. It was a bit like that, but I remember I was probably was around 1990, so I'd have been 14, and we just had an extension put on the house for my nan to live in the extension, and then she died literally when the roof was put on the extension. So our nan's dead in the house. She died in the house, and we're all going, "Oh, can we turn her bedroom into a gym and that?" He was like, he's a bit like that. But then after the funeral had passed and everyone had sort of stopped pretending to cry and whatever, fucking my dad bought a new stereo, and he bought an Accord separates, and I remember he paid over £1,000 for this system back in the 90s. A lot of money. Separates. graphic equalizer, fucking proper speakers and that. And they bought a Phil Collins album. My mum bought Pavarotti's album because she really likes opera. And then my dad bought Aswad's album. Do you know Aswad? Don't turn around because you're gonna see my heart breaking. If you Google Aswad, he was like a late 80s black. He weren't even reggae, it was more soul-y type music.
Okay.
And yeah, he was good music. He was like chart soul, really. But I said to my dad, I didn't know who this Aswad was, and I was like, who's this? And he was like, I don't know, man. It was a black geezer on the front, so I just thought you kids would like it. That's what he said. So we got an Aswad album. There was a fucking raster on the fucking front of the cover. That's a true story. I don't know what made me think of that, but there you go. That's the case.
That is fucking brilliant. Absolutely fucking
brilliant. You know what, Tom? I genuinely I appreciate people. Like, as gay as it sounds, and that's no offense to any gay people out there. If you choose to stick your willy in another man, that's your choice. It's none of my business. I'm not interested. But like, I enjoy watching the X Factor and The Voice. You know, when someone is properly talented. And
I like watching it for shit bits at the beginning.
No, I like it when the retard goes on there and they're like, yeah, I've been singing since I was 6. Yeah, 10 years. What the fuck are you doing on here, you mad woman? Fuck off. Your mum and dad's been lying to you because they're scared to upset you because you've got no friends and you've got ginger hair. So they've been pretending. You can't fucking sing. Apologies to anyone with ginger hair who's watching. If you're ginger and gay, then double apologies. But like, I really, really like Stormzy.
Yeah.
And I don't even like all of Stormzy's music, but I appreciate what he's done and what he sings about. And actually, I used to fucking hate Eminem with a passion. And actually, when I listen to his proper old school stuff, there's no one more talented lyrically than Eminem in my opinion. Or not many people have got the gift that he's got to put together what he puts together. And obviously, when Eminem was big, which again was probably.
Well, he still is big. Like, you don't need to focus on the
when he came onto the scene, all I used to see was some white kid talking like a fucking dickhead.
Yeah.
Like, literally, I used to think, there's no one who talks like that, mate. Why are you even acting like a prick? And then I seen this geezer on YouTube called Gatlin, and he used to fucking speak just like him. But I genuinely appreciate people's talent, and I'd love to have a recording studio. That is something that I would like to do when I'm older, if I had the money. It's just a small recording studio. And
you don't need loads of dough to set up a recording studio. I'll set it up for you if you want.
No, I'm being serious. It's something that I'd like to do. I'd like to fucking find talent and actually try and do something with it and bring out the best in people. Do you know what I mean? It's something that I know I'd enjoy doing that because I genuinely would love to be able to. I know lyrically I could put together a song. I know that I could because I've got enough bars. But no, but it's like I know I can't. I can sing. I sound good in the shower when there's a bit of an echo and shit like that. You know what I mean? But I would love to be able to sing because I know I'd enjoy going down the studio and actually doing something constructive, genuinely. And I don't know if you've ever listened to. Is it Miracles? Have you ever?
Yeah, I think that's the name of the guy. Yeah, Tattoos.
Yeah. The geezer's fucking mental, man. He's lyrically again. He's gifted as fuck, and he's just starting to come out. He done a cover of "Shape of You." Boy,
that's him. Yeah, that's him. He's done a few covers.
He's just doing a physical tour now, like an actual real live tour in the States and stuff like that. And it's sort of seeing someone go from YouTube to then that video's on about 13 million hits for a little cover that he done in the studio. I genuinely appreciate someone who's got a talent and then it gets found and they do something with it. And it's we really should have a fucking karaoke night at the fucking shop.
Do you know what it makes me think though? It really makes me think. It makes me feel that in your later years, I could see you not running, but like having sort of a youth centre or something like that. You're sort of the person that you could fucking appease kids, like speak to teenagers and they'd fucking listen. And
you know what, honestly, I'm being absolutely honest. It's something that I think I'd like to do. but I'd end up stabbing the cunts because they've got no fucking respect for people. And it's like, nah, you know, like even when I was a teenager, and I used to knock about with some troubled kids, man, some fucking hardcore people that were doing no good. That's how they live their lives. And even as like a young teenager, I can remember talking to him saying, "Why don't you do this instead of doing that? Or come to the youth club with us, and we'll do this and fucking whatever." And then I remember years ago when I was probably about 20, thinking, "I'll adopt kids. I'll adopt troubled kids, man, and I'll put them fucking straight." And then as I got a little bit older, and then you sort of see the way the world was changing, where you're not allowed to give them a fucking kidney punch and stuff like that without it being frowned upon. I was a bit like, I don't know if I could handle these cunts. But sort of like Tasha always wants to be a prison warden for that same sort of reason, for sort of to maybe see the good in people and sort of bring it out in them. But I can remember, like, this is, where are we now? 10:30. I can remember, if I go back, Billy's 15 now, 16 in November. So my pal will have died 15 years ago, any day now. I can't remember the exact date. It might be the 6th of April. And best of friends growing up. And unfortunately became a heroin addict, and he ended up killing himself in jail. And the 12 months before that happened, I'd lost sort of contact with him just on the basis that he was a heroin addict, and I was a bit like, I can't deal with this. And then we started talking again, and he'd done some work for me around my old house, and he used to be a tree surgeon, and then he robbed off. But like during that time, I used to say to him, "Alan, what can I do to get you off this shit, man?" And he's like, "I don't know, mate, because it's the best feeling in the world." He says, "I can't even lie to you." He says, "I'm not advocating anyone ever take heroin because it's fucking scumbag." He says, "But it's the best feeling I've ever had in my life." And I was like, "Well," he's like, "but you get bored." And I was like, "Well, come round mine, or even if you're around mine 7 nights a week, we'll get you off it. We'll do whatever we've got to do to get you off it and clean you up." And then he robbed off me, and we fell out again. And the next thing I get a phone call and say he's dead. And he proper done my head in for years, me thinking, could I have done something different? Could I have been in a different place at a different time so he never took that heroin? And could I have done anything to help him get off it? And then, to be quite honest with you, there was other pals of mine around that time that were heroin addicts, and a few of them have died, and a few of them are clean, and a few of them probably still dabble and do. And I just got to a point where I was like, actually, I can't change this. It's not a situation I had any control over. But I did persecute myself for quite a while after he died, thinking, could I have done anything? And as much as I can be an arsehole and a loudmouth cunt and say what I've got to say and that, I do try and see the good in people. I do try and give people the benefit of the doubt. I do try and give people enough rope to hang themselves. But then I end up losing my shit with them if they don't go the way I expect it to. But I'm not very good at accepting that people can't change. I'm like, no, like Tasha's laughing, but I'm not. I'm like,
you're not giving me.
no, but it's just like yeah, no, exactly that there. Look, you know, like the fucking 4 points of milk.
Yeah.
Like you take off the fucking green lid, and then it's got a little peely back thing. But she never ever peels the fucking thing all the way off.
Oh, when you go to 14, it goes all over the place.
Fucking
I do it on purpose now.
Grips, fucking grips my shit. And every time I open it, then I'll put it off, and I'll leave it on the side on purpose, just to go, you fucking left that on the milk. Every time she opens the milk, she must go. I reckon she even gets to peel it off and goes, fucking puts the fucking lid back on. Yeah, he keeps leaving this on the fucking
You've
side.
been wondering for years why you're opening fresh milk with fucking half of it just open.
So yeah, you know what? I really like the idea of doing.
Good things.
Nah, you know, like genuinely, I think it's nice to be nice.
Yeah.
But I've been fucked over that many times that as an old cynical man now, I'm a bit like, once my own kids have grown up, and we've done the best job between us as we can to allow them to go and live their lives. Do I then want to dedicate my life to other fucking scumbags? And as much as I'd like to think I'd like to do it, and I know it'd be rewarding to do it, I'd rather be sat on a Caribbean beach lagging. I'm not even gonna fucking lie. So
yeah, but when you get to that sort of age and you think that would be the best, to me, you've already done what you've wanted to do anyway. So what more could you do? That's your time, innit? End of the day, you've raised your kids, you've done what you can. It's your time. That's how I see it.
You know what it is, Tom? And again, it sounds like an excuse, and it's an excuse I use for not doing housework, and it's absolutely true, and it's a lame excuse because it comes across as being bollocks. But I don't like doing things by halves. So if I'm going to tidy the living room, I'm fucking doing it properly.
Knock yourself out.
So then I'm a bit like, I can't even do this because I can't just do it half-assed, so I'm just going to leave it all together. Now, it sounds like a really shit excuse, right? But like, if I start doing the kitchen cupboards, and I have done it before where I've cleared out all the like the sauce cupboard that's got sauces and stuff like that in. There's times where I've ended up getting it all out and fucking Tash done it in our bedroom on Sunday. She was like, she went into the bathroom, threw out like the empty bottles of deodorant and empty bottles of shampoo, and then she come into our bedroom, and then fucking 8 hours later, she's fucking turned the bedroom upside down, arse backwards, done it all properly. And it's a bit like, if I was to go down the route of being a youth worker or that type of thing, or some sort of thing where I know I could have a difference on people's lives, I know it would end up consuming my life.
Oh yeah, definitely.
100%, because I know that I'd get fucking emotionally attached to people, and I'd be a bit like, look, we can do this. And then I've done it before. I've done it with my own kids, mate. To be honest, with my oldest daughter, where you put so much time into something that possibly can't be put right at that time in your life, that you sacrifice every single other person around you.
Yeah.
And I know that I would be, I know that I could be potentially in a situation where I would put other people 100% before Tasha, because I was already emotionally connected to sorting that problem out. And even if she sat down to me and says, well, you're not going this weekend, I know I'd be saying what I need to, because we're there, we're like that fucking close to cracking this and getting it right. And as I've got older, I'm less inclined to dedicate that much time to anyone other than my missus and my kids.
Yeah.
So as much as I'd like to do that, and I think I could be quite good at it, if Tasha fucks off and leaves me for a big black man and I'm on my own, I might do it.
Could be a good
I don't know what sizes I'll fucking smash his fucking teeth out of his head. No, but you know what? Like I said, yeah, genuinely, I don't think I could do something like that half-assed. And even
I get it 100%. I've got one rule in life, and it only came about a couple of years ago.
Go down to Birmingham on Wednesday night before Expo. That's a good rule.
apart from that, no. My old man works in a factory and has worked. He makes artificial limbs for a living, and that's what he's done since he was 16-year-old. Makes artificial limbs. No, be deadly serious and don't take the piss. We fucking joke.
No, I'm not keeping that, Tom.
No, and he's not. And what I'm saying is, so he's done that since he was 16. And there's a bloke who was in the factory, and he'd done exactly the same as my dad, worked since he was 16 in that factory till he was 67, retiring. 2 days before his retirement day, he dropped dead in factory. Yeah. And to me, I want to make sure that everything I've done and want to do and my family are decent before I fucking go anywhere. And that's my only rule.
You know what, mate? On the same sort of token as that, on January the 16th, 2008, a chap got killed in our factory. And the fact I can even remember that date sort of signifies the importance of that in my life. And it changed my life completely changed the way that I look at life, the way I live my life. It made me take decisions that I should have took years before to ultimately be happy in my life. And that at the expense of other people as well. Just put me first. And on the basis that if I am not happy, how can I do the best by my kids? And even if I have to make decisions that mean my kids are upset or angry with me, I know that ultimately I'll be a better dad because I'm in a better place. And I can honestly say from that day, the way that I live my life is different. And I don't live a perfect life, Tom. I'm not like, I have days where I'm pissed off. I have days where I'll snap at Tash because I'm pissed off, and we argue like every other couple, and the kids piss us off and the kids make us happy, and we're just a normal couple. But actually, generally, I don't let people drag me down. I don't mix with people who ain't giving me the best. I don't give more time to anyone than what they can afford to give me. because if they're not, I'm not putting more into someone else than what I'm getting back out of them, because my life is important to me. And on that basis, there's people that I was pals with for 20 years that I'm no longer pals with, because actually they were bringing nothing constructive to my life. They were only taking constructive stuff out of my life. And I don't meet people that are negative as much as I can. And I know when I look through my own Facebook status, I sound like a real negative arsehole all the time, picking flies, moaning about things, but they're just things that annoy me. But actually, in my day-to-day life, I do try and look past that. I'll put it up on Facebook because it's a way of maybe venting that I never used to be able to vent before social media. I don't know. But certainly, that situation changed my life and made me realise that. And I've put it on Facebook a few times over the years, but live every day like it's your last, because you don't know when the last day is going to. Oh, because one day it will be. And it's absolutely true. Like, none of us or the only time we're gifted with knowing that we're going to die is when we're in the shit. But we've got fucking terminal cancer, or we've got fucking this, or we've got that, or we've got the other. But generally, most people clock out and they don't even fucking know what's happening. And on that basis, I don't know whether my last day to clock out is tomorrow. And I'm 42 years old, and my granddad, my mum's dad, died at the age of 40 with a heart attack, done, fit as fuck, working, fit as a fiddle, bam, clocked out in the pub, went for a beer after work, dropped down dead. My dad's 64, dead. Tasha's auntie died the week before last, 59, dead. Someone else was telling me about someone who died. Oh, my cousin who works in the factory with me, his next door neighbour, dropped down dead last night, 59. And even when, but like, as a kid, I always had this fucking feeling that I'd never live to be old. I've always had, it's something that I've always had from when I can remember. And I can remember saying to my mum, I looked in the mirror one day and I was about fucking 17. I says, oh, fucking, I'll never look old, I won't. And she fucking smacked me around the face. And I was a bit like, what the fuck? And she says, my dad used to say that. And he never looked old because he never fucking lived old. Do you know what I mean? She said, but my dad always used to say, oh, I'll never look old, I won't. And obviously you die at 40 and you don't particularly look old. Do you know what I mean? But I always had this feeling that I'd never live to be 40. Now I'm 2 years past that fucking get out of jail card. Do you know what I mean? And like, even when my dad's been dead 8 years this year, so I was 34 when my dad died. And I remember thinking at his funeral, and that being genuinely one of the hardest days, if not the hardest day of my life, sitting in the church, looking at his coffin, thinking, I might already be more than halfway old, dead. I might be already more than halfway to dying, because my dad was only 32 at his halfway point. I'm sat here at 34. What if I've only got another fucking 30 years left to live? And I do think that regular. You know what I mean? What if now at 42 years old, I've only got 22 years left in me, which means when I die, Emmy will be 22 years old. And them things bother me. And I'm not particularly scared of dying. I'm probably scared of how I die. I'm probably scared of making sure that if I died tomorrow, I'd like to think that Endless Mods would sell more than ever and Tasha would have a fucking pension. Tasha would be on to China. You need to make fucking 20,000 mods. Paul's fucking dead, man. The sales have gone through the fucking roof, man. We're smashing it. We're killing it. Yeah, we'll add a fucking new range, dead as fuck, to the liquid. It's his 4 favourite flavours. He wanted me to do this. He's like so, I mean, on a serious note, like, yeah, I do worry that if something was happened tomorrow, how would Tasha stand financially? Could she carry on the business? Would she have enough support around to carry on the business short term to make sure it didn't just get fucking fleeced and dwindle away? Is there something that could carry on with Endless in my absence? Is there something that could carry on with the liquid? Even if only to sustain an income until she decided what she wanted to do. Do you know what I mean? So I do worry about that. And I worry about that probably most of the time. It's always on my mind. And I think I can be driving down the road and think, what if that bus just swerved across the road and drove straight into me head on and killed me? I've had them thoughts from as far back as I can remember. I can be driving down the motorway doing 90 miles an hour. And there's times where I'll be driving and Tasha will say, I'll be driving down the motorway and I'll just put my seatbelt on out the blue. And I don't normally wear my seatbelt, and it's not because I'm being fuck the police. It's just something I've never done. So when I get in the car, it's just because when I was a kid, it weren't even that illegal not to wear it. It was not really a fucking problem. So I grew up not having to have the seatbelt on. It's something I don't do, and I know I should do, and I try and put it on. But I can be driving down the motorway doing 90 miles an hour, then I'll fucking slow down, I'll put my seatbelt on, and it's because I've just thought, imagine if my front wheel blew out now and I fucking steered into the central reservation and bounced off that into the middle lane, that Arctic fucking took me out and killed me. I have these mad thoughts all the fucking time. So, which is why then I'm also me. It's why if I am pissed off, I'll fucking tell people, because life's too short not to sort of be full of shit. And
yeah, exactly.
Everything, the way that I live my life is just based on all of them thoughts of, even, you know what, a pal of mine who I met through the internet, he's a Scottish kid and proper funny geezer. But I can remember him saying on the Facebook group, the average person will only see 80 summers in their life. And when you break it down to that, right, I've already had fucking 42 summers. And like, no, but I mean, you're sitting there going, but I mean, that is the truth of it. We have, on average, 80 Christmases, 4 of which we probably can't remember because we're too young. And maybe,
yeah, but the thing is, for me, is I think about shit like this, and then I think, just walk in front of my bus. I'll just do it now. I'll just fucking wait. While I'm wasting time, I'll just fucking go in front of my bus. If shit like this makes you think, but the moral to this story is, for me personally, is fucking enjoy it. Have a laugh. Have a smile on your face, and don't give a fuck.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I mean, I'm going to finish now because we are getting on for 11 o'clock, and I told you we would. If you ask me another question, it's your own fucking fault. As a kid, I always used to think, I'm not saving fuck all. I might be dead when I'm 40. And then when you get to 30, I was thinking, what if I live to be 80 and I got fuck all? But somewhere between not enjoying yourself and dying worth £10 million, there's a happy medium to be had. Do you know what I mean? Because you can be the richest man in the fucking graveyard, you're still going in a 6-foot hole.
Exactly.
Still going in a wooden box. That's it. Job done. The only thing is, my coffee might be a little bit more expensive than your coffee, and who gives a fuck when it's rotten in 6 months' time? But the reality is, there is a happy medium between not doing fuck all because one day you're going to be dead, and not doing everything because one day you're going to be dead. And it's just finding that balance of working, family, having a laugh, being pissed off, being honest, earning some money, saving some money, spending some money, and there's just a balance in life. And actually, if you have a balance of everything in your life, then you'll live a decent life. Simple as that. And you can be the most Catholic person in the world, and Catholic on the pretense that you get to church every Sunday, and you get to fucking benediction on a fucking Wednesday, and you get to Good Friday and on Palm Sunday and all that bullshit. And you might be a horrible cunt, but because you read the Bible and because you've got a set of rosary beads, you feel like God's forgive your sins. For me personally, again, from the age of 13 or 14, whenever my nan died, having been raised Roman Catholic, I just thought, you know what, this is a load of bollocks. That priest up there is probably fucking nonsense kids. I know for a fact he's bought fucking wank mags in the local fucking news age because I've seen him, the fat pervert, and he's a big hypocrite that's ever. No, I mean, like, literally, he'd be up on the altar telling everyone to give money to the poor, and he's fucking living in a 5-bedroom house that's attached to the church. And there's homeless people living a mile up the road, mate, with nowhere to fucking sleep, you know what I mean? And when I was about 14 and my nan died, and my mum bought a 6-foot cross for the coffin, and they wouldn't let us put the cross on the coffin because the petals would fall on the floor and make a mess of the church. But my nan had fell up the fucking church steps every Sunday for 60 fucking odd years. I remember just abusing the priest the day before the funeral. And my mum saying, just leave it. I was like, no, I won't fucking leave it. Put the cross on the coffin. That's what you want. Put it on there. And I'll fucking sweep the church myself tomorrow. And then after the funeral, I was just a bit like, what a fucking fat, horrible, hypocritical cunt. Because for me, it's not about being Catholic. It's not about being Muslim. It's not about being Hindu. It's not about being this, that, or the fucking other. It's just about living a good life. It's about being a decent person, a decent human being. Now, that doesn't mean that you've got to be perfect all the time. It means that you can have a bad day and tell someone to go fuck themselves. It doesn't mean that people can take advantage of you. It just means that if you can go to bed at the end of the day and feel like you've had a good day, and you've done the best you can do in that day, then that's all you need to do. And if you're a good person, you can fucking be sat on the shit house, having a shit, and pray to God for forgiveness. Because if God's the great bloke that he's supposed to be, he won't give a fuck whether you're sat on the shit house or down in the church. He'll do his job and forgive your fucking sins. If you feel the need to be talking to an imaginary person where you're having a shit, you've got issues, man. Anyway, that's just my opinion. Now, I genuinely would like to think there's something out there, but the reality is I'm not a prat. So, but I'm sure on my deathbed, I'll be fucking praying to God to make sure he looks after me on my journey to wherever the fuck I'm going. And it worries me about what happens when I die. Is it just lights out? Do I know I'm dead? I worry about them things that I'll never know the answer to, because I won't know till I'm dead, and then I won't know because I'm fucking dead. But if you can live a life where you're honest and you're genuine and you're a good person, and like I said, by a good person, it doesn't mean you've got to be a mug. It doesn't mean you've got to let people mug you off. You've just got to make the right decisions that are right for you and right by other people. And actually, I think if you live a good life, then that's as good as it gets for me personally. And that's what I try and do every day. I just try and live a decent life. And I'm a cunt along the way, but I mean, I know I'm being a cunt. I'm not doing it like unknowingly. Sometimes I'll put a status just for shits and giggles because I know to wind people up, because that's the sort of bloke that I am. But yeah, so on that note, fuck God, it's all about Paul. So I remember someone saying before, you think you're fucking God? And I said, I'm not God. Fucking God works for me. No, fuck off. He's like,
well, I've not signed out. We've signed out on that one. Thanks very much, everybody, for staying on and watching. I've had a really good show this week. The girls are knocking on the door, so I've got a shift.
Same.
So, I'll ring you in a little while.
No problem, mate. Speak to you soon.
Love you all. Bye.